It's Monday. It's a little bit warm. Let's get going. Let's get into some D&D. Hard deadlines. Faywin's mum says we've got to be in bed by 11. No, wait. That was Faywin.
Yes.
Yes. So, we were in the forest, and then we weren't. So, you were traveling through the forest. Heading your way down, getting close to Dunborough, following leads, and then you started to second guess some of the leads. Going for a little break. As you went to Redvant first, I lie. Went back to Redvant, spoke to Bo, spent a night in the Silent Dagger, went to see the Scaled Symphony as they performed their brand new sellout show about the heroes of Redvant, killing of the elves and ridding the city of the foul folk, which of course the Scaled Symphony were the main protagonists of, and you guys were a supporting act. Met all those guys, hung out for a bit, shared some information with Viper, and then decided to follow up some leads from the past and head out to Allworth, which enabled you actually to go and see Famous Parents again, transporting yourself via Tree Stride into the tree on the roof, the tree grown from the magic beans, as Fabian, you and your mother, the dog's back, discussed the Fey portals, how close you would come to a Fey portal. Stupid dog. Sorry. And what it might mean, what your shard might be able to do, what maybe Jenny's wants might be, what her motives may be with asking you to just, drop a little thing into some Fey portals. At that same time, that's the first time the rest of your party found out about it. You spent a night, or preparing to spend a night, in the Oakshine residence, all hid away in Allworth. Before leaving, Bo had warned you that if you were to go and see the druids, that they would definitely be wondering why the hell you were here and not in the forest. But he said he would not be saying anything to them. Whatever you do is up to you.
I bet he grasses us in. He seems like a grass.
It does seem a bit like a grass, to be fair. But yeah, you updated everything. You shared the letter with him. You asked him to go out and find out some information for what he might find out. You asked Viper what she might know about certain areas. And piecing together some bits, led yourself back to Allworth momentarily. So we will pick up in the day. You can pick up in the same day that you were out and asking questions, or you can have an evening and do it the next morning. Up to you when you want to take breaks, but you are all in the Oakshine residence having a nice little sleepover.
Has Faywin's dad come home yet?
Depending on when we want to pick up, it can do. So if you want to do stuff in the evening, we can stay it's the evening before and Faywin's dad can come back. Or we can say you already saw him, had a lovely meal, who was as wonderful as he always is.
Awkward. He was as awkward as he always is.
Yeah, exactly.
Would be happy to have a sending stone.
Would your mum tell him that she has the sending stone? I don't think she would.
It would be that bedroom talk, surely.
It would be, yeah, when you're not around.
When he next says that he misses Faywin, my mum just pulls out the sending stone.
Mm-hmm. Surprising with it.
What happens if he never says that, though?
Oh, wait, listen here, Wanderer. He would. All right.
Wanderer. Listen here, Wanderer.
In terms of you and Hallie, I'm fine not RPing with them.
You can, yeah.
Questions.
That's fine. As it's questions, yeah. If you want to ask questions, so yeah, we can say that you will come back then. Let's come back then to the family meal. So you, Hallie has got you all. Sleeping equipment for whatever is required, as much as she can pull together, as you've pushed aside in the very quaint living room. It's not the biggest area for a lot of you to be sleeping in. Faywin, you obviously have a bedroom, although it has been turned into quite the hamster run for Hector. But yeah, so as you're getting all set up, all the furniture has been pushed aside as Hugh comes back. Kind of seeing you all here is bemused and befuddled as you come back. But Hallie is already putting on a meal, cooking up a nice big meal to be shared. A nice spring meal. What would it be? I don't know, probably some like roast chicken or some some lovely home-cooked veg.
Nope.
No duck. Always no duck.
Immediately,
oh, actually,
no. None for you.
Can we canonise that I'm
would
trying
like
to make a pillow fort?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, that's what bemuses
Do I need
him
to roll
more.
for it?
He's like, huh? For integrity of the pillow fort, yeah. Intelligence.
Yeah, I keep interrupting him now with pillow fights.
Have you seen that episode?
And I keep getting really upset because he keeps using my walls to hit me in the face.
Let's skip to the morning, shall we?
So you can
I'm
have...
also gonna see how cool Hector's room is and Ben's
Head of school is pretty
use
Hector's
of wild
here.
shape to
That's a 13
go
for
into
integrity.
weasel form.
nice. So I think it's pretty
We'll go weasel form
decent
into the
thing.
room as well.
You nice. So Hugh comes home. Otter is in his pants trying to hit Arta with pillows as Arta is trying to build and spent far too much time building this construction fort, whilst Von is upstairs in weasel form running around the elaborate hamster run that has been created for Hector. Having a wild ride.
And Faywin's regretting ever coming back.
Yeah. Never. She loves coming back. That's why she came back. But yes, you can have a dinner.
Faye?
So it would say that you could sit down and discuss or ask questions of your parents over dinner if you would like.
I would like to update them on the fruits that I had discovered and
Yes.
what they were. And then with the 3 that I had left, did we say they went mouldy by this point?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Those ones would have gone mouldy, but we'll say that the mum is obviously very good at keeping the tree going. So if you wanted to grab some more, you can grab some more. But yes, they would only have a shelf life of a couple of days, and it's been many weeks.
Could I take one of each of the ones that have gone mouldy and just eat them all? And tell her
The
that-
mouldy
That
ones.
seems very out of character, Faywin eating mouldy food.
No,
As
no.
Faywin suggests this, Saga says, "Everybody stand back. Last time she did this, she breathed fire at me."
And she grew an extra finger. That was from these, right?
Oh, yeah.
Have her mum and dad noticed the thing?
No. As your mum's like, sorry, what?
Oh, no, nothing. Don't worry about that.
Take my strong hand.
Show them, Faywin.
Faven calls silence.
And we have a silent meal. Not going to show your mum your creepy little extra
No,
finger?
I'm not going to show her my creepy little finger.
Okay.
And I'm going to have to explain abominations to my parents. It's not going to end well, is it?
You can see
Not gonna
both.
be allowed
Mum
back
probably already knows about them, to be fair.
Yeah. Both your mum and
Not that
dad.
we know that, but...
Your dad notices nothing. Your mum is definitely giving you a side eye as she's trying to catch what this little finger is doing while you're eating dinner. You want
Can I ask them if they'll adopt me?
it? You can. And Hugh chokes at first. And then Hallie taps him and says, I think he's joking.
Chokes with happiness?
No, it's one of those where you're like, you're older than me, son. So you want to
No.
eat the mouldy fruit?
No. Go back to the tree.
Oh, you want to
Get
pick
the equivalent of
the
the
equivalent.
ones. Yeah.
Right. You definitely said eat them, though, at first. That was confusing.
No, get rid of the ones that are mouldy
Okay.
and then eat the equivalents that are.
Yeah,
mouldy.
so-
And tell my mum that I'm going to do it.
Okay. Yeah, she can go and help you pick. So, yeah, you can go and pick. There was 3 that you did not know what was doing. So the rest of them you can return to obviously there's a compost bin up here, for sure.
Yeah.
Mum is very good at composting everything. You can grab 3 of the ones you didn't know, and then you can take a choice of some of the others. If you're taking 3 of those ones you've got there, we will say you can take another 6 berries of your choice,
Okay.
of the ones you do know about.
It's got to be 6 enlarged berries, right?
Ooh.
The giant purple
What happens
grape.
if you have 2 enlarged berries, one after the other? Do you enlarge your enlargement?
Who knows? Eat 2 berries, find out.
They're not mine. I wouldn't steal. I'm a good boy.
Nice.
Do you want the descriptions?
Of the ones you're
3 that I picked.
only when you're eating them.
Yeah, I'm going to eat them right now.
You're going to eat all 3 of them right now.
Yep.
So you're going to take the 3 you don't have, and then you're going to eat the 3 of them. So you have dinner,
Yep.
then you go and get
Dessert.
berries. Go and get
I'm gonna
dessert.
get my berries.
You come down. Do you have the berries? Where are you eating the berries?
I was going to eat them in the garden
Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
when I'm picking them with my mum and telling
Okay.
her I'm eating them so she can help if something happens, like I vanish.
Okay.
Father casts blink on himself.
Roll a d6, and then half the number to give you a d3.
I rolled a 5,
Okay.
so 2 and a half.
What was this one?
It's like a black plum.
Black plum. Oh, I think I got you to tell me what they were last time. I told you what it would be. Nice. You eat the black plum, and as you are talking to your mum, you I feel like she's a little bit slow, like you don't know what's going on until you realise she's not being slow. Actually, you're being really fast as you are under the effects of the haste spell for 1 minute. You have it's
Nice.
like a potion of speed. So you have extra movement. You can move double fast.
Oh, lovely. I dart around as I go to eat the second fruit, which is an orange disc-shaped fruit.
Orange disc-shaped fruit. Nice. Can you give me a roll on the wild magic table, please?
Oh shit!
Fireball.
Blue and hairless.
Like 100.
Yep, I do 100.
Blue, hairless, and short with a lizard snout and a tail.
Sounds sexy.
Jesus Christ. I gain resistance to all damage for the next minute.
Oh. As you whiz around quickly, pick one of these fruits you haven't got and go to put it in your mouth, you are moving so quick that you don't notice your mum going, wait, as you eat it, and then you just, this wild magic surge just explodes from you. This like cloud of, almost like, like the fucking cloud run sprays. All these different colours fly out, shatter. You see a load of the leaves, the loads of the flowers get their petals knocked away as your mum kind of stops and is looking back at you as you appear from this cloud. No difference, but you feel a little bit like you've got some resistance and shit. As she goes, don't eat 2 berries at once. These are very powerful. You shouldn't just kind of keep throwing them in your mouth.
Oh.
Does mean you don't know what the... Oh, no, wait. You have to then roll a different thing. I think it's an Arcana check. There's a mixing potions thing. There's a table. I've got it. There's definitely a table somewhere.
I was just trying to speed things up to not save me mum some time.
Yeah, I know. It's funny how that happens. So you need to roll. I think it's an Arcana.
That is a nat 20, 28
I don't believe you.
on D&D Beyond.
Did I say you've got to roll it with disadvantage because I said so? Nat 20, I believe both potions act as they should do. So you are hasted, and as you are hasted and your mum is trying to kind of tell you off a little bit about not paying attention, you start to drift off the ground as you are able to fly.
Wonderful. Can I fly around her to be really irritating?
You can fly around her really, really fast. Yeah, of the 2 to put together, pretty damn good.
Can I see this?
I think, well, unless anyone else went
We
up
should
to
be
help
doing
with the
this-
thing, you guys would have been down.
That's
She would have gone up with her mum to.
That's fine, because I'm already sulking. Finding out someone can fly, I'm going to be all livid.
Yeah.
I can fly.
Go to bed without dinner livid.
You're already in. You guys are having a great time. They should have disappeared off to get dessert, and now just
Go
playing
to
silly
bed without
buggers on the
second
roof.
dinner.
Nice. Nice. So yeah, you are flying. So the orange disc-shaped fruit is like a potion of flight, or potion of
Great.
flying.
And then can I wait for this to wear off
To try the other one.
before I have the last one?
Yeah. Yeah, so you picked the last one. What was the last one?
A multicoloured pea-sized fruit.
Multicolored pea-sized fruit. Wow. That's...
Yeah, like a perfect sphere.
Yeah, so for an hour. So whilst you're waiting for these, you're going to be an hour for the flight one to wear off. So you can go back downstairs to everyone else and show off your new flight ability.
Oh, God, yeah.
Rather than be upstairs with your mum for an hour.
I would absolutely love to do that, please.
Sweet. So as Faywin and her mum disappear off to pick some fruit for a lovely fruit salad that they're making for dessert, something to keep you nice and healthy, keep your sugar levels up. Faywin and her mum return. Faywin, you are able to fly, but it's up to you how you would like to show off said ability. Annoyingly, you're also resistant to all damage and don't look any different. And, how long? Haste only lasts for a minute. Haste would have worn off.
Okay, so I'm normal speed.
Yeah, normal speed.
If I had a teeny tiny peach, I could be flying and fire breathing all over Zaga.
I mean, if you hit another
Fire
one, you
shot.
could be fireballing everyone if you want.
Yeah, that's also true. I'll just go in, greet everybody, and then just really casually just start floating. Maybe cross my legs, just be like, "What you guys up to?" So I'm kind of floating with my legs crossed in the air.
Faywin has appeared to go upstairs, come downstairs with the power of flight. Your mother goes, "Oh, Faywin, no one likes to show off."
I do.
Zaga pays no attention because it's obvious she wants a reaction.
I was too busy pillow fighting.
Your dad's like, "Well done, that's very impressive."
Thanks, Dad.
As there is no reaction coming from anybody else. As they are sulking and you land, at the end of the hour running, you come softly down to sit. You have one last berry to try off to show off at the table.
The multicoloured pea-sized
The
fruit.
multicolored B-side fruit.
I asked my mum, should I take this here or should I eat it upstairs in the garden? What would you prefer? I did take one before and nearly set fire to his eyebrows. So.
She was like, "I think the others have passed for your system now. This one should be fine."
Okay, I'll eat it.
It is a potion of reduction. So you shrink down.
Zaga stops ignoring her and points and laughs.
Roll a d4 for me.
Me?
Yep.
How small is she?
4.
4. This is going to last for 4 hours. You have reduced. So it's just the enlarge reduce spell. So what's reduce say? Halved. You're half as small. To be fair, still taller than Zaga.
I point and laugh back at him, right in his face.
Although you realise when you're like size to size of Zaga that he is pretty stocky. Your size is halved in all dimensions, and your weight is reduced to 1/8 of normal. So you're now a small character.
I pick her up and hang on her coat.
She has disadvantage on strength checks and strength saving throws. So if you want. So for 4 hours, you are half-sized, Fabian, which makes the rest of the... Have we got a voice for half-sized, like we did for enlarge?
No.
Excellent. I prefer enlarged, but I'll take it. So there we go. You've got all your berries. So you can have a very serious conversation for the next 4 hours with updating your parents on what's going on whilst you are half the size after just eating some magic berries.
Great.
How grown up have you?
Seeing as everyone was mean to me, I was going to read out what all of the berries could do so that we could collect some that they thought might be beneficial. But no one was impressed with my flying, so I shan't be doing that.
Wow.
I should make clear, Arthur was impressed, but he didn't want to tell you.
Zaga has heard rumour that there's a weasel running about in a room unattended and he tries to sneak off.
2 weasels running around in a room.
Yeah, Von didn't come down for
Yeah,
dinner.
Von is there too.
Von's still there.
Try and eat Von. Let's see how that goes for you.
Excellent. Yeah, Zaga tries to sneak out of the room without anybody noticing.
Roll a stealth at disadvantage because everyone is at the table. You'd have to unless you're excusing yourself. If you're just trying to sneak out, yeah, it'd be quite difficult to leave the table.
at disadvantage 18.
18. Let's see how attentive Fabian's mother is, because she is the hostess with the motors. She rolled the nat 1. She's just still shaking her head at Faywin's flaunting of magical goodness. Zaga disappears off upstairs to try and find this weasel running around. Doesn't take long. Were there any questions you did want to ask your parents whilst they were there? Doesn't have to be, just so I know.
No, I don't think so. No.
Okay, sweet.
One more for my mum.
Yep.
She mentioned about a Fey portal in Allhearth.
Mm-hmm.
How would I find that? In case I get trapped in the forest and I need to get home quickly.
She will tell you behind the
Obviously, I'll tell them when no one else is around.
Yeah. So your mum will tell you that the Fey portal in Allhearth is behind your house. There's like where the houses you're in are like these 3-story townhouse ones that kind of run at the back there, where they're in squares. They're like communal gardens. Not like full gated off, but like for the residents there that are shared and used. And within that garden is where the thing is. That's why it was so easy
know
for you
that
to
that's
go away.
there?
She doesn't think so. It's pretty well hidden.
And if I were to come out of the portal, what would happen if somebody saw me?
Well, someone would see you coming out of a pool. You'd have to be careful.
It's not like that it's in undergrowth or anything.
No.
So if I were to come out, could I not like do a check to see if someone's on the other side first, or?
Just to get out and have a look.
Yeah, you'd have to stick your head out and have a look. But it'd be a quick. It's like a tree stride, so you pretty much have to jump through and just take your chances.
Okay.
So she tells you when the portal is opened, John could run through and then the portal would close.
Okay.
And then you got to hope you can get through again.
Right. Okay.
I think if you're running from danger, like people
It
seeing
wouldn't
you
matter,
appear in a
yeah.
garden is probably the least of your worries. If it's like people see me appear in a garden or me dying.
Yeah. Because I could just be like, I use Dimension Door.
Exactly.
Something.
It's magic. I'm a wizard,
Okay.
Harry.
Lovely jubbly. That's the
That's
only
it.
thing I had. And obviously the nicety chat, so
Mm-hmm.
my dad doesn't feel like I'm just there anymore.
Give me an insight check.
Only a 9.
9. Dad seems a little distracted, maybe a little bit, but then again, he's just come home and there's all of you here unannounced. Apparently you're staying in the house. You just were flying. Like, it's been a bit of a messy day.
And if I ask him if he's alright, he'll just say, yeah, I assume.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. He seems himself, just is like there's just a little distraction in him.
Yeah. To make him a little bit happier, I will use my linguist feat to teach him a cipher. Not cipher. A
Nice.
thing that no one else can
Yep.
decipher. Because I feel like he'd enjoy that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, you guys work on that as like the rest of you have second dinners if you can manage it and are not sulking too much. Zaga, you sneak upstairs to try and find where this weasel might be. You have probably not been around the house before, so just randomly trying rooms. Give me a D4 roll.
Oh, that was a D6. My bad.
Good job. All right, bud.
3.
3. You are just going up and picking doors as you open. You open the door, find a bathroom. The weasel's not in this bathroom.
Look again. I'll just open every door.
Yeah, I know what order you open doors in. One of them might be a portal to hell and you never come back from it. Who knows?
We can hope.
Oh, am I rolling the dice?
Yeah. I want to see what order you open them in.
2.
2. You try and open a door, but it's locked. It's on the same floor as a few of the other doors, the bathroom door. But yeah, this one seems to be locked.
Zaga is intrigued by a locked door in this house. She pulls out his lockpicking kit.
Nice. If you would like to pick the lock, give me a sleight of hand. Your lockpicking thing. Give me 2 actually. Give me a stealth or a sleight of hand and a lockpick which is, I think, Dex plus some other stuff, right?
Sleight of hand was 24. It's
Nice.
the same for stealth. It can be either of those.
Okay.
And lockpicking was... Fuck, I don't remember what lockpicking was.
I think it's just Dex plus proficiency. Because you're proficient with the lockpick
Proficiency
tools.
is
Yeah.
+8. Is there anything on this list that's a +8? No. So that is a 5 on the dice, +8 is a 13.
13. This is not a very intricate lock. You, kind of look around here. Downstairs, there's still chat going on. You can hear Faywin talking to her dad about this cipher and what's going on. As you pick this lock, this is a basic household lock. We don't have a super low DC. As you open the lock and can open the door into a bedroom that is in pristine condition. Almost looks a little bit dusty in here.
I investigate the room quickly for a hamster. Weasel.
Very quickly, even just like on your plus, as you look round, it doesn't look like anyone's been in this room for ages, so it's very unlikely to be a hamster in it.
Okay, it's a dusty room with no hamster. I close the door.
Nice. You can attempt the other doors. As you go across the hall to another one, open the door, you can see a small bed and this room that has that you can see there was a cage, and it's just like starting to build around this hamster run where like cages upon cages upon cages have been built around, and there are just runs all over the place as you appear to have found Hector's new hidey hole.
I investigate for an overweight, sluggish weasel.
Oh, give me an investigation check.
That is a 30.
A 30?
Yeah.
You don't find an overweight weasel. You find 2 weasels running around here. Both of them look in pretty good condition. Pretty fit. Von, you see Zaga.
Question: I can't speak normally, but can I still telepathically speak?
Oh,
While in
I think
wild
so.
shape.
While in wild shape. You have... Yeah, I think so. Otherwise, wild shape's super... And in new rules, you'll be able to do it anyway. So, yeah, I think so. You're going to mess with him.
Yeah, I mean, I would telepathically say to Zaga that, oh, you gonna get the right one? Which one of us is Hector?
With your 30 investigation, you can see one of them's got a emo fringe.
I ignore that one and try and grab the other one.
Nice. Give me a dexterity check. I mean, do you even have Hexa's stats anymore, Faywin?
I do.
Can you give me a dexterity saving throw for him, please?
15 on my check.
15.
There with.
While he's going to grab Hector, can I go and try and bite his foot?
Hector's foot or Zaga's foot?
No, Zaga's foot.
Yeah. You can give him the help action, essentially, so you can give him advantage on this check.
He only rolled. Oh, you give him
Give him advantage. Yeah.
Ah.
Did you roll crap twice?
21.
Oh, wait, no, he has pluses. God damn it.
Yeah.
21.
The first one was 13, so thanks for the advantage.
Hector almost gets caught, and then the bite Zaga on your foot just leaves your hand open a slight second too long as Hector starts squealing. This weasel is squeaking and squealing like a wee little piggy as Faywin, your mum almost like drops what she's doing. She's like, my baby! And she just runs upstairs to find out what's going on, to catch Zaga with his hand inside this thing, another weasel on the floor biting his foot, and Hector squealing and running up to the top of his cage as Hallie walks in and she's like, Zaga, what are you doing? What's going? And then she goes down to Von to pick you up and be like, what is going on here?
I run up after my mum.
I just came in to say hi to Hector. I haven't seen him in ages.
Hector doesn't make that noise for someone that's just coming to say hi.
He's excited.
She shoots a look back
loves
to
me.
you. Shoots a look back to you, Faywin.
I push into the room and I grab Zaga by the face.
You're
Like, you know,
also
when you
the
grab
same
someone's
height as
chop.
him.
You're still tiny.
Yeah, that's fine. I've got big girl attitude.
Yeah.
I squeeze his cheeks. Oh, it's not been 4 hours now.
It's definitely not been 4 hours, no.
I'm gonna make a bit of a noise like a weasel.
Mhm.
Why are you trying to kill Hector?
Seeing Faywin in this at this size. First time.
One of the weasels starts rolling around on the floor laughing.
Imagining Faywin looking like a borrower, and I know she's not that small, but at the same point, it's
Yeah.
much funnier when you think of it like that. It's like riding Hector, like a steed into battle.
If
Oh my
only.
god, can she feed the enlarged berry to Hector and ride him like a horse?
Oh my god, he would go one size bigger, so you'd be the same size. I think that would work. But to go back to you, Zaga, you had your face grabbed. Hallie's looking very disappointed in you, and she's trying to coax Hector down.
Why are you trying to kill my weasel? I let go of his face.
I'm telling you, I just came to say hi.
Bullshit. Sorry, Mum.
It's fine. Small failing.
I look over towards Hector and I'm like, come on, Hector, you know it's just a game we play. Come down and say what's up.
He hisses at you.
I'd like to summon John.
Yep.
as a...
You're in
I do
a bedroom, so it's pretty cramped in here.
Yeah, that's why I'm not going to summon him as a bear.
A bear. I was going to
Honestly.
say, just be careful if it's a bear.
How big's an octopus?
I think it's just a normal sized octopus, so it's like dog sized.
Can I summon him as an octopus and get him to jump on Zaga's head?
We can try if you want. You still got to attack him.
Yeah.
Okay. You summon John as an octopus in the middle of the house. You can. I mean, you're gonna have to roll initiative. As your mum steps out, as she doesn't know what the fuck's going on. Von, what are you doing as a weasel? Still enjoying mini phone? This is like a Pokemon fight.
Has Hallie put me down now? Because she did pick me up.
She went to pick you up and then stepped back to know what's going on. So she has.
Oh, okay.
She's coaxed Hector down from one of his runs and is stepped backwards as John's appeared as a spectral octopus in the middle of the floor. So she stepped out into the hallway.
I'm gonna run out into the hallway and then change form when I've got enough space to.
Nice. Yeah, you can get in the hallway. You have more than enough space. As you come out to the hallway as well. Octopus comes. John as an octopus is in front of you. I think on initiative, likely Zaga's going to win. So
Can I just make the point that John is there to protect his brother Hector?
okay.
He's decided that he wanted to be an octopus.
He's done a
Because
full
he wanted
Pikachu
to-
and said, I
Yeah.
refuse to be in the ball. Let me out. I
Yep.
want to fight this guy. Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
And it's fine that Zaga will probably win. We don't actually have to fight. But I just want it to be known that John is doing this to protect his brother.
Yeah, fight it out.
You can fight. You can fight. I don't think it'll be a very long fight. But yeah, as you step back, half-sized, calling out an octopus to fight Zaga in your bedroom. Von, you're in the hallway watching this quite strange sight. Von, give me a perception check.
That is a 25.
25. You notice that Hallie has stepped to the side and is staring at a door off to your left. And she's not looking at... And you're looking at what a ridiculous sight it is to see a half-sized Feywin summon an octopus to fight a kobold in a bedroom. It's a pretty weird sight. She doesn't have an intention. She's kind of got her eyes on this door and is kind of slowly stepping towards it.
Is the door still ajar? Or is it?
As you look at it, the door's closed. But yeah, again, you've never been around. You don't know what it is. But yeah, you can see she is staring at it and just slowly stepping towards it.
I will say, Hallie, you okay?
You don't get a response. She just steps up towards the door, kind of puts her hand on the handle, and like turns it a little bit, and then just steps back.
Just leaves the door.
Do I hear... Oh, sorry, go on.
She just leaves the door.
She turns it, and then as she feels that like the handle's turned, she kind of lets go and just steps back, and then kind of catches that you would. She kind of turns towards you. As you can see, she's very flustered.
From where I am, is there too much commotion for me to have heard that she's turned that door?
Yeah, you 100% having a Pokemon fight with an octopus against
Okay.
Zago. Yeah. We can roll the dice for it, but that is what's happening here is Zago's being jostled by John the Octopus in your bedroom, and you're half-sized and quite angry about it.
Yeah.
Can I just say this is more ridiculous than the fighting pit?
I would like to say, while this is going on, I, in my infinite wisdom, did not build the pillow fort quite as well as I want, and I've kicked it over and knocked pillows all over myself in my sleep, but I haven't woken up. So you'll come downstairs just to find loads of pillows.
There's a whole load of pillows, and you're slowly suffocating. Perfect. We'll start rolling con saves for you in a minute.
Perfect. Can I have an advantage because I'm poisoned by my own farts?
Hudson dies in his sleep.
Is John actually going to fight me? Do I need to roll initiative against him?
Can we
think you
just
will
assume that Zaga will beat John?
Yes.
But they're just having a scuffle.
They have a scrap. It's 6 seconds around, right? So yeah, even if you pull your punch, as long as you're not going to cast any ridiculous spells, even if you're just attacking, it'll only take you less than 30 seconds to.
I'm imagining two young brothers sort of wrestling with each other.
Yeah.
John in the headlock.
Yeah.
And
You're just
he's
trying to
only
pin
got
him and grab him.
48
Yeah.
HP.
Yeah.
He's just sort of trying to hit you with his tentacles.
What skills does John have?
He has binding strike,
Yeah.
but that's damage. But you can grapple.
Yeah. So essentially, every time it's a bit like John keeps trying to hold your hand, and you keep having to force your hand out to grab him, and in a different way, he grabs your hand another way. So it's more just like a grab. It's like a wrestling contest more than it is a out and out fight. As Fabian is squealing at you in a miniature form. But yeah, Hallie kind of turns back, kind of gathers herself, and just says, "No, don't worry about it. This is." And then she kind of walks in to you guys, like, "Come on, let's stop. Let's just whatever you're doing, stop what you're doing. Let's just rest." With
said,
anyway.
grabbing one of the tentacles of John.
Yeah.
And slapping it in the head and saying, "Stop slapping yourself! Stop slapping yourself!"
100%. That is perfect thing for Hallie to walk back in on, as she is holding Hector under her arm and just, essentially he's like, "Stop! You're adults. Stop mucking around. Should we just go downstairs, shall we, and finish dinner and just have the rest of the evening, shall we? Let's try and enjoy ourselves whilst we're here."
I put my
Yeah,
arms
it sounds
out.
good. Hector, are we cool?
Hector gives you an evil eye whilst nuzzling. You know, like when someone nuzzles up and then turns back? Does that. Looks like he's being playful, but as he looks at you, you can see he's squinting.
My cats, when I give one attention, they're not attention.
Like, fuck, I'm gonna fucking kill you. I'm only a little weasel, but I'm gonna kill you.
I put my arms out for John to jump in them as the octopus.
I don't think, can octopus jump? I think he might slime up your arm.
No, he can jump. He sort of pushes up on his legs.
Okay, and I'm pushing up on his legs.
Swims
He's
in the air.
same height as you.
Oh, okay. Well, then he gets on like a backpack.
Nice. You wear John like an octopus backpack. Perfect.
And go downstairs.
Nice.
As we go downstairs, I look at John and say, "I won."
He just slaps him with one tentacle as they're going downstairs.
He like puts a tentacle towards your direction. You assume he's giving you the finger, but he's only got one tentacle, so you don't really sure. It's just, he makes it look like he's giving you the finger.
And then I say to the group, someone keep an eye on him.
Mm-hmm.
He can't be trusted in this house. And we can't trust him outside of the house either.
So as you two go down the stairs, Hallie follows, leaving you kind of on at the top of the stairs, as you've just seen her kind of get disorientated, grab the door, mood change, tell them to stop, and then has followed them down the stairs.
I will follow downstairs.
I turn back into a weasel and go back into the cage.
I want to go back in.
And having the time of my life.
At this point, Otter's challenge shoots at an arm wrestling contest.
He's like, I mean, it sounds like fun, but honestly, it's not really my my gamut. He's like, I don't really think. He's like, you'll just beat me. I don't really work out that much as I should do for this body.
Oh, come now, Hugh. Under that stuff you're wearing, I'm sure there's a body of an Adonis. all those books we left.
The body of an Adonis. He's like, you
Is
kind
this
ones.
conversation happening as we get down the stairs?
As you get down the stairs, yeah, Otter's just like got his fucking bicep rolled up on the table, and he's just kind of sat back like, no, it's fine. I'll just have my cup of tea, enjoy my dinner, please, in my house.
I want to say towards Hugh, be careful. Next thing you know, he'll invite you to a spa.
Oh, I mean, a spa sounds more up my alley than a arm wrestle. To be fair,
We'll have to arrange that one day.
yeah, it's been wild couple of weeks. Oh yes.
God, is he going to try and turn Faywin's parents into swingers? 'Cause I don't want that.
They'll go to little nudist retreats together. Oh, it's perfect. All right, now we're going to get sidetracked. We're going to the nudist retreat. Let's go. But yes, you carry on. I don't think he would. He would politely continue to decline an arm wrestle. The master librarian of the Commonwealth will decline your arm wrestling competition, unfortunately.
I will telepathically mention to Faywin about the door and her mum's reaction.
Mm-hmm.
When I get back downstairs.
Cool.
Fabian knows that door to be.
A second bathroom? No. That's your brother's bedroom.
I thought so, but I didn't want to.
I think we all knew it was that.
Yeah.
It's a second.
Even everyone knows where the line is on that one.
It's a second
I
bathroom.
was waiting for Zagger to rob it, honestly.
So was I, with fucking fist clenched.
And I had a wee
Saka, why do you have a locket with Faywin's face in it?
When would I know why that room was locked?
Yeah.
Is it something that's been locked since before I left? Okay, fine.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a very it was kept the way that it was. It was tidied and then kept the way that it was, and then after a while was locked, and it's just been locked. You don't know.
Essentially, I'm going to ask my mum about it, so it's whether something has changed since before I left.
Yeah. You know, your dad definitely never goes in there. You know, your mum probably does still go in there. Your mum is likely the one that has the key, but she would never tell you that she's gone in there.
So when Von Van tells me, I say to him,
Would say
That
like
door is
you've had aperitifs after dinner. It's been a few hours. You are now normal sized.
okay, great, thank you. When Von Van tells me about the room, I say to him, that's impossible, it's always been locked. And then I give the sidelight to Zaga, thinking, has this little rat really just lockpicked in my parents' house? Knowing full well that he would have been doing that because he's a little rat. And wish that I had have rolled initiative with John and killed him. When I would assume that there'll be some tidying of sorts after dinner, and I'd like to speak to my mum and just say, put my hand on her shoulder and just be like, Elias's bedroom.
Yeah. As soon as you say that, she darts up.
Darts up to the room.
Darts up her eyes towards you.
Oh, her eyes. Okay.
Yeah. Sorry.
That's all right. My friend told me that you went up to it, and do you not lock the room anymore? Or is the room not locked anymore?
She kind of doesn't narrow her eyes, but kind of slightly pauses. Doesn't answer your question for a second or two. She says, "No, Faywin, the room is always locked, but it is not locked now." And she's kind of, you almost get from her that she is accusing you slightly.
I can't believe it. I'm so sorry. Do you want me to arrange to have the lock fixed? I'm sure someone in the party will be. And I would like to tell her that Zaga's a rat and has previous for picking locks, which has come in handy out there, but I never thought he'd do it in my parents' home. And that I can have a go at trying to fix it. And I'll speak to Von Van because we have a deal where we usually do lookout, and although that normally works well outside, I would have thought I'd have to do it in my parents' house, but I'm willing to do that and I trust him to.
She, as you're like saying this, she puts her hand on your hand and just shakes her and says, "No, don't worry, I just will check the room and I will lock it." I don't think it's necessarily that the lock was broken. She just sensed, you know how if something is untouched in your house and someone moves something, you get a sense that something's been moved. It'd be like the move, like no one would go near that door for the like carpet to be slightly off or the door handle to be slightly misplaced. Something that she's probably very aware of was slightly off, and that's just what triggered her to check. But an unpicking of a lock doesn't necessarily break the lock unless it's a bad roll. So she'll just explain that she will check the room and relock it, and there's no need to worry about it. But just she kind of gives you a knowing look of you know what the rules are is maybe the wrong line, but what her boundaries are.
Yeah, and I completely agree with them, and I'm mortified, and I hope she can see that in my face.
Yeah, she would have really dog shit insight check, so I think she would believe you anyway. You're her daughter. And then she realises the hand that she's touched is the one with 6 fingers. And she, of course,
I pull it away really quickly.
She's like, failing. Yeah. I mean, that's not permanent, is it?
No.
I told you shouldn't be messing with those wizards. Those magic is something that is innately within us. That's something that we are born with and can harness. And what those wizards do in those schools is a little bit unnatural by my book. And if that's caused this,
I know. I don't really like them anymore. I'm thinking of dropping out.
Well, good. But
They've asked
can
me
you
to do
have
a map
this?
Of the forest, but I'm not giving them all of the information. I remember our conversation where you said about keeping things safe, and so
The border forest has magical powers.
I'm telling them about the boring tree bits.
Okay.
And Jenny the Hag's house because she's a horrible person.
Yes.
Yes.
She says yes. She's not arguing with you, but
Yes. Could I go before we leave? Perhaps when the rest are asleep. Before I left, would I have been allowed in Elias's room? When I missed him.
I don't think you. Well, I mean, I suppose this is your character. If you think that you would have, for a time, the room would have been open. I wonder, once it was locked, whether that was maybe when you maybe stopped going in there. But if you think that you would have gone in there, like and it would have been open for a few years of him being missing before your mum locked the room. So yeah, I suppose if it's up to you. If you think you would have gone in there and then post the locking didn't go, or post the locking you would have asked to go in with your mum, that's up to you to decide.
Yeah, I think just because from the thing of there's so much going on, so many people around me have died, I'm scared I'm not going to make it back and I'm homesick. I'd like to just spend a little time in there when the others have gone to bed.
Yeah. Yep, we can do that. Yeah. So yeah, you roll into the evening. There is alcohol and stuff provided for those who are in there. Arthur is creating an absolute fart camp underneath all these pillows and cushions. The living room, when you get in there,
the sprouts. It was the sprouts.
Yeah, you had some good roasted vegetables, to be fair. Yeah, by the time you get back into the living room after moving in from the kitchen, it smells like Arthur's been asleep for a while, because it smells like Arthur's been asleep for a while. Yeah, as the rest of you can do with it you want. But yeah, if there's other conversations you want to have, we can do it. Otherwise, in the night, you can go and investigate. Just give me a stealth check for moving about the house heard.
By the group, because I just
No,
assume
just
I'd
you.
ask my mum's permission.
If you can ask your mum to me, that's fine.
Yeah, I've rolled a 22 though to not wake everybody else up.
That's fine. It was more for your mum. But yeah, if you're going to tell her you want to do it, then yeah, that's fine. You could do that in the evening before you went to bed.
I don't want anyone to come in.
Okay. Nice. So yeah, if anyone else wants to do anything in the evening, let me know. We can roll backwards and forwards a bit. But yeah, as you
I
said
just
on
want
your-
to regale Hugh with the tale of the time Fabian tried to cross a river.
Nice. Jesus, all those many weeks ago. And Hugh is a wonderful listener to stories. He has a nice jovial laugh.
Oh yeah, I'm definitely embellishing.
Oh, fully, and he will be enjoying it and looking over, and not enjoying the laughing at Faywin, but enjoying the joy of the story. Just a very nice man. So yeah, you have a gig, and he would probably crack out a little bottle of something, maybe a little whiskey or something. He doesn't drink very often, but when he does, he likes to share. So yeah, if you guys are willing to tell stories and go through, he will sit and listen because he wants to absorb knowledge and hear stories and have a laugh. Nice. So yeah, Fabian, you can, when everyone is asleep, disappear upstairs to your brother's room.
Does it look any different? I assume not, just maybe dustier than when I left a couple of months ago.
Yeah, it doesn't. Yeah, it's not like super dusty, but it's got that layer of dust of just like inactiveness in here. There's not an open window. There's like settled bits of light settled dust in here. It doesn't look like things have been moved for a while.
Okay. I'll sit on the end of the bed. And just, has he got any like papers or photos or something? Essentially, I'm just like, when you walk into a room and you kind of just like flicking through bits and pieces, not particularly looking for anything, just like reminding myself of things that are around.
Yes, remind me. How long ago it was? Did you write down how long ago it was? We went backwards and forwards, I think, on it.
We didn't. We didn't say exactly how long in the story. But the rumours were that he was sneaking out somewhere, not acting himself. I imagine maybe like 5 or 6 years before now. Because he was 8 to 10 years older than me.
Yeah, he was older than you. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I thought. Good. So there wouldn't really be photos and stuff. There's bits of scraps of some of his like collections he would have had, like flyers he would have collected, or paperwork from like schools he were attending, are all pulled together. On the side, I don't think necessarily there have been like a huge amount of photos knocking about, but you can see, actually he would have probably been just as much of his father's son.
He was more my mother than my
He was
father.
more your mum. So you can see that he had like a diary, he had like a journal, which has all this scrapbooks in, nowhere near as neatly embossed or to the level of detail you has. He wasn't very good at it. He wasn't very diligent, but there were pages flicked through, and what he used to keep is like big moments in there. So like when big things happened, or when there was like shows that he would have gone to, or like the circus was in town or something. Whatever he had, if he tried as he best he could to keep it as up to date as possible, with at least the big things that happened, where you were more of a like, dear diary, today I did this thing. So he tried, didn't fail, but you can see that journal on the side, and you would remember the stories that would have come from it, and like the essentially the bullying that he would have pushed a little bit your way as being a little snotty goody two shoes, whilst he was a bit like, I'm a bit old for this crap.
Could I flick through?
Yeah. Is there anything in particular you're looking for, or do you just want to roll an investigation check?
I guess there's no point really looking for any hints or clues as to where he could have gone, because I imagine that I would have done that before, and obviously my parents would have. But maybe any mentions of places or things that I've seen since that I wouldn't have seen since I'd started my adventure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Give me an investigation.
Wank. 8.
8. No, you've been through this like loads of times. You can see that, the like same groups, same people. You went to the same things. So yeah, as you've been through, like you can recall all of these things. Like you've read through this so many multiples of times. Give me a. I want to just say a knowledge, but it's not really not. I mean, I might use history, but it's not really history. It's going to be like maybe insight's better.
Oh, I did history.
Okay. Do history, but it's
I'll roll insights.
Yeah.
I rolled 25 on history, so I'm happy
Oh,
to
okay.
back.
Roll an insight as well.
14 on insight.
Okay. As you're going through trying to look for like the differences, you are trying to like, I suppose, being more adventurous now, read this from your point of view. Read it from the point of view of not like you're missing and trying to just relive the moments that your brother went through and remember him through his, but like read into what he is writing. And you can see that there's some like names that come up that like come in later on. So like as he's getting into those kind of like older teenage years, these same names that just like intersect in, and they're all coming from like a certain time. So as you're going through and like, okay, you're piecing together these different things. But you can see that he started to hang around with like certain groups of elves that appear to be new friends and appear to come really late on. And as you're reading in, that's when like some of the things he goes to become like a little bit different. Like his personality kind of shifts, like what you would like akin to like an emo phase. But like the types of events that he was going to, types of things he was going to, it starts with like circuses and shows and ends with like more not necessarily like concerts, but like rallies or like meetings of certain types of intellectuals out of the scholar's crown. And you can start to see through. And I'll say with the history, as you go through and see certain bits, you do pick up a few mentions of spiders, webs. Like a lot of these things have this like analogy, this passing of information, and the description of this information sharing is always accompanied with a web or like a knowledge web, or there's like lots of spiders and arachnid links to it in the later years before they just disappear.
Fama feels physically sick and pulls out her own journal. As he's writing, does his tone, you said about him being emo, his tone or style of writing change? That I pick up on being a nerd. Just himself. Okay.
Not really. You can see again just the way that if you would read someone's journal and then read it again 4 years later, that their tone would naturally change as they get older.
So, having pulled out my journal, I want to make notes of things that I find relevant around the spiders, and note down the names that are mentioned towards the end of the journal.
Yep. Yeah, you can take down the names of groups or whatever else that were there that will do it.
Yeah, and like his new friends' names and the dates when they started to appear.
Yeah, but all these would be like 6-7 years ago, more than that. Yeah.
I'm assuming I don't recognise any of the names.
No, you would have been. there was enough of an age gap that the older he got, the less of a relationship you would have had with him, because his relationship would have been outside of the family home.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. And then everything else that's in the room is just the same as before. So there's no point looking through anything really.
No, the rest of it is just like as he would have left.
Okay. So I put everything back as was.
Mm-hmm.
And leave and lock the room.
Only mum would have a key. You'd have to lock it.
Oh, okay. Fine. Then my room is next to that room.
Mm-hmm.
With Hector's in it. So I will go in there and rest. But Von Van, can we swap? You can sleep in that room if you want while I'm in his room, and then do you mind swapping over?
Okay.
Because it's only 4 hours, isn't it?
Yeah.
I don't want Zaga anywhere near the room.
Okay.
And I will tell Von Van that.
Mm-hmm.
And then I will also tell Von Van on our swap over that I need to speak to him about the letter that Otter found, but we'll do so when we leave the house.
Okay.
And don't let anyone near that room. Please.
I stopped Zaga getting in before. Don't
Yeah.
worry.
Thank you.
Hang on, there is no evidence Zaga went in that room.
There's
Oh no, I was talking about Hector.
Who in the party can lockpick a room that has always been locked, is now open outside of that room?
If you ask Zaga, somebody just forgot to lock it.
Yeah, never
if you
come back
ask
here again.
Zaga, he'll lie to you. And that's why we think it was him. Case closed. Nice. Cool. So you have a nice rest. You had a good meal. Had a little misbehaving, and awakened on a nice fresh day, the 2nd of March, here in mildly sunny Orheath. What is the plan for the day? As you awake, that in the morning, Hugh comes down as he's obviously up nice and early to make sure he can get out to work. Opens the living room door. You hear him cough and splutter a little bit. It's not a very big living room, and there's a lot of sweaty men sleeping in there. So he's like, I'll just open this window here. Should have maybe done that last night. Does anyone want any coffee? As he gets you all set and tries to wake you up a little bit so you can get out and get going with his day. So yeah, get you up nice and early. But yeah, you are still locked in the Oakshine residence as Hugh has his breakfast, get himself set and heads out. What is your plan for the day?
Could we have told him not to tell anyone we were at home?
Yes.
'Cause I know we said it to my mum, but not him.
Yes.
Cool. We need to head back out, don't we?
We do. Did anyone want to get? I mean, did we get potions and that from yesterday? We'll just record it as yesterday.
Yeah, you can if you just want to spend some gold on some potions. Yeah.
Ottar was going to go out with his hat on.
Yes.
Hello, it's me.
I have the hat on, but I wasn't going to change my disguise.
It's just me with the hat on. No one will ever suspect it. What potions are we looking at?
Poison resistance.
Give me a second. Common potions. That did work. Good. Have you got the list up there? Can you tell me the rarities? I just need the rarities of what you want. I can look it up, but it involves me going to 2 screens.
I think, so can't say if anybody else, I think Favorite might want some health potions.
Yeah, I was just going to get the I don't know which ones they are.
Poison resistance is uncommon.
Nice. Cool.
Can I get some potion of healing greater, please? They're green uncommon as well.
Yep. Yeah. So you're going out because you're going out in disguise. You won't have any reputation to roll with. So we'll just give you so there'll be 200 gold each. Uncommon potions. So, yeah, however many resistance. Actually, to be fair, they won't have huge amounts in there. Oh no, they'll have loads.
Ari's being none because he is the healer, and he feels that these are cheap imitations of his holy work.
Of course. So you should be able to get as many as you want. Really, there's at least 6 poison resistance and at least 10 greater healing potions that you can source in the town.
Would anywhere in the town have a ring of poison resistance?
Potentially. It would potentially, but you would be having to go to one of the magical shops, so you would be risking being potentially noticed. Because you've been to most of the magic shops. Poison. Give me a second.
It's rare, so what kind of price would I be looking at?
$1 million. Just let me just think who would have. Who would have? Yes, it's not really going to be in the... You'll be best going to the Mystic Emporium, which I think you have been to before. Who went and got their tarot read there?
Me.
Yeah, so as you're walking around Otter on the source, you know that's going to be your best bet because the other ones were kind of like weapon enchantments and more blacksmiths. The Mystic Emporium definitely had stuff, so you'd be risking going in there. It's up to you if you want to take chance. You know that you have been face to face with this person who is a shopkeeper of a magical shop, so might recognise you, but you can also take that risk if you know you're leaving today. So up to you. You know that ring is probably going to set you back a decent chunk of change, like between like 5,000 and 8,000 gold.
Well, no, definitely not going there then. No, I'll just buy. How many poison? To say 6 poison resistance.
Yeah, there'll be up to 6 available.
I added 1 healing and took off 200 gold.
Yep, cool.
I'll buy 5. One
Good.
each.
Nice. Knock 1,000 gold off.
Whilst he's out shopping,
Yep.
can I explain to everyone what all of the fruits do? In
Yep.
case they want to take one for when we go.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll put it in characters in law. People want to pick. Depending on what is on the tree, of course.
Yeah, so you ate the 3 yesterday, so you've got 6 to pick.
Yeah.
So pick whichever 6 you want, or multiples of if you would like. But yeah, you've got 6 to pick from.
Yeah. So everyone can have 1, and I'll take 2 of the fruits. Then.
Do you want to know what they all are?
I've put it in characters in law.
Oh,
on the
okay,
list.
good. I was going to say because there's a long list. Otto, can you give me a wisdom saving throw?
$20.
Nice. As you are walking around and keeping a low profile, so you are trying not to bump into people or have too many conversations. Just listen to what's going on. Make sure you're not being recognised. As you dot between a few of like the brewery shops, trying to like spread the buying a little bit between like the 1 or 2 places you get potions. Have a think about the Mystic Emporium around the yards area. Move back. You can hear the fear in the city about the Death Bloom. Like there's multiple conversations you hear that range. A lot of them around the that like why are the like what are we doing about it? Are we safe here? Like, is it gonna will we be able to hold our defenses? Why have we still got people outside the walls? What are we doing about the like kind of refugees that came up from the borderlands? Are they gonna bring the death bloom to us? Is that the problem? You can see that like people are attacking it from all these different angles. Lots of kind of hate pushed towards the Commonwealth itself. Like, will they be able to defend? They're not doing anything to protect us. What's happening? We're not hearing anything. And then others, like, there's like stories that the Druids are doing this and doing that. All of it, though, is like fear mongering. All of it is fear. There's so much of it. All of the conversations in the end boil down to the death bloom is dangerous. The death bloom is coming for us. Like, we must protect ourselves from this death bloom.
Yeah. I will relay that when I get back.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then you just pick it up as you're wandering around, listening to what's going on in the streets. Try not to have too many conversations, trying to be unseen.
And I will hand everyone a poison resistance potion, and then remember that Arta doesn't need it. So
Oh yeah,
for myself.
Thank you.
you remember from the smell of his farts that there's no way that man could not have poison resistance.
When Otter tells us about the death bloom scaremongering, can I ask my mum, whether she's in the room or not, whether she'd heard anything or whether my dad had mentioned anything from the Commonwealth? Because as she knows, we're fighting the death bloom.
Yeah, no, she would say that she's heard the same, that like that it is a big interesting. Yeah, she would say that she's heard it, that like it's on a lot of the minds of a lot of people, and that she feels it from time to time. Like, you get caught up in it, in the like the fear mongering of what's going on, and then she thinks about what you guys are doing and how you're out there. But she has like faith and belief that you're out there doing good, you're out there trying to change things, and that you'll be safe. So she tries not to let herself get caught up too much in it because of that. But she says your dad comes back, he thinks about it a lot. And he's working hard because he's working for pulling information for the Commonwealth as they're working on plans. That he, when he comes back from work, he's like, that's his all-encompassing thoughts is what he could be doing to fix and help and do his part. And how are they going to make sure that they're countering where they can, or developing what they can, or have enough defenses where they can. What can he do? What can he find? So yeah, she probably says that's been working pretty hard to try and do his part.
Well, tell him that if there's anything information-wise that he needs from the ground, you can ask. We've seen it up close many a time. I've told him most of it anyway, but
I didn't tell him about the stone. She didn't really. That's just me fucking looking at. Well, I thought it was our little thing. When he needs
it
it,
can
I'll
be our
surprise
little
him.
thing. But you could just say that you heard about it and give it
That's
that way. I don't know.
fine. Yes, I'm sure. I can let him know at least.
Should we do the fruits another time so people can decide which ones they want? And just say that we pick the ones that we
Yep.
can.
Yep. We'll say that they roll me a d4. Don't roll a 1.
Or
4. Funny how that keeps happening. They have 4 days shelf
D&D
life.
Beyond. Okay.
4-day shelf life.
How many potions? One each.
You got with the what?
Of the fruits, you got one each.
One
Yeah.
each, and then I took 2.
Fair enough too. So yeah.
I'll grab a haste one.
I'll grab the pink curved one.
Heroism's good.
Zaga will take the flying one after
Of
ignoring Fang.
course.
Of course you do. Arta, do you want to fly? Do you want a different one?
I want to fly. I want to fly. I want to fly. I want to fly.
I can't wait to
So
knock
that's
you back in the
nice.
sky.
Rolls.
I'm going to take the small crimson fig, which removes exhaustion and energy poison.
Yeah, but it's not flying, is it?
And
And also a fly.
Oh, hiccups.
I will. Oh, do I want to take a fly? Just piss these off.
Definitely taking it large.
Do you know what? It's funny, but it needs to have a bigger boost. I think you get like a D4 on your attacks, and it needs to be a decent. Yeah, it needs to be a bit more. You need to have like the borrower size. Like you need it to go down one size smaller and one size larger. Cool. You can take one more.
I'm going to take 2 crimson figs, which is the removing exhaustion and all that.
Nice. Okay.
And that should
I
be
mean,
all of them.
Can you stack them with the actual spell?
Mixing spells and potions
No, I
is
don't.
always
I'm not going to eat them
fun.
both at the same time.
Oh, no. I mean, I was saying with
Can you
the
do others?
enlarge and reduce, could you actually stack them with the actual spell?
I don't think
Which
it actually stacks. I don't think enlarge and reduce. Does it say? I don't think it does. I don't think you can enlarge, or maybe.
So.
But yeah, if you enlarge them, it's only going to be adding 2d4. So you'd be massive, but I don't think it actually says you can. Deposit size, increase grows. One character. Yeah, so you just go from medium to large, and then large to huge. Which I think you probably could do, but you still can only get advantage on strength saving checks and strength saving throws. So you can't get double advantage, and your weapons would have 2d4 extra damage, which is better. But I still don't think you'd be like to turn yourself into a huge creature just to do an extra 2d4 damage. Doesn't feel like it. It's worth, unless you want to do it to someone else and then make them be a target. But we'll come to that when we come to it. Nice. So you pick some berries, get yourself set. Well, you did that whenever. Yeah. Hugh has gone off. What is your plan for Allhav? Otto went shopping. Anything else you want to do in the city? Anyone else you want to try and speak to whilst you're here? Or are you heading off?
I am going to say hello to Jeff, but we can do that at the end.
Hello, I'm Jeff. You want to say hello to Jeff?
Yeah.
You want to do that?
Because I attuned to the ring last night.
Oh. You can't attune to the ring and not tell me. I'm allowed to talk to you.
Oh, sorry. I thought I said that last week, that I put it on and was going to put it on for an hour. Because that's when we had the conversation about you can't ignore him.
You put it on and you said, I'm going to block him. And then I said, you can't
Yeah.
block him. And then you didn't say, I continue to wear the ring.
Oh, sorry.
I went, I could have been being Jeff for so long. Oh. So yeah, when you attune to him, he's like, oh, finally! So, have we got any more down the line? I know who I'm speaking to. Good to see you still got me. Did you forget about me?
Of course I didn't forget about you, Jeff.
Well, it
There's
seemed
just
like you
been
forgot
a
about
lot
me.
going on. I
Yes.
appreciate that, being a soul in a
I've had a
ring.
lot
It's
going
hard,
on as
but-
well, yes. I refuse to move on. We will find a way. I have faith in you, even if you do ignore me for, I don't even know how long. I have no concept of time because I'm a soul in a ring.
Yeah, so I've been making inquiries of how to get you out.
Good. I just want to be
Yes.
Jeff for a bit.
Yeah, that's fair.
Okay.
I would also like to speak to Vaughn, because this is the absolute Faywin show, about what I read in my brother's diary.
Yep.
Does Otter have the letter?
I assume Otto has the letter.
I think he does, doesn't he?
Yeah.
I'm
You're
not
gonna
going to
have
do it here, though. I'll do it when we're not at my house. I don't
Where
want
are
to
you?
upset my mum.
Okay. Are you going to
I
go
mean, like
somewhere
when
else?
we leave back to the forest.
I was going to say, yeah, it's where you're going. So at the moment you're in Allhav, you move around. Like I say, you can move around. It's just if you are spotted by or go to the druids, they'll know you're not doing what you're doing in there. But again, it's up to you whether you give a shit or not. You've got the wizards, you've
I
got the
don't wanna
Commonwealth,
leave.
you've got other stuff. So up to you guys where you want to go. I'm just saying, what is your plan? As you wake this morning, you've done your shopping. It's where you want to go from here.
I assume the plan was to go back into the forest from here.
Mm-hmm.
Unless anyone else wants to do anything. Guess we got to the tree in the garden.
Nice.
Yeah.
You find Arthur's already sat waiting in the tree, wondering where the hell everyone is, because he thought this was just basically a dine and dash.
Guys. Nice.
I'm looking at my imaginary watch.
I'm looking at my sundial that I've strapped to my my souvenir sundial that I've got strapped to my wrist.
Can I see the sundial from the top of from the roof?
Oh, you might just be able to. Would it be?
What happens if
Be
I
a
fly
squint.
to do so?
If you would definitely want to eat a berry to waste it straight away, 100% I'll let you see it.
No, I
No?
don't. Not that much.
No, you don't want to use that. You don't want to use that.
I'm going to
Thanks,
forget
Donna.
the berry
Yeah.
exists by the time we get into the... No, actually,
That'd be my favourite thing, to be like, and it's been 4 days, all your
Why
berries
not?
have gone to mush.
I'm not going to use it in a fight, though, is the thing, because it's going to just put me in danger.
It doesn't have to put you in danger. You can
I'm
do
in
the opposite.
danger.
How I imagine Zach will use it, just to fly as far away as possible.
Get out of my head.
I was just thinking...
I'm going to fly back to Draka with 1 hour flying potion. Do with it what you want. But yeah, you probably just about make out the square. You might be able to just about make out the market. I would say Fabian's parents live pretty close to that central area, close enough to the Commonwealth. Nice. You go up to the roof then.
I give my mum 100 gold.
Wow. She's like, wow, on top of the 209 gold you already gave me. Wowzers, trousers.
Yep.
She's like, I will put it to the good use. Have you seen, you saw Hector's cage? This is what some of the money went on. We had a nice custom made. He can have the best food now.
Yes. He looks very happy. Thank you for looking after him.
Yeah, when your mum
It's a
is...
great page.
It's so much fun. It's like a big soft play area for druids. But yeah, when she's out gardening, he kind of comes up with her, I think, a lot of time. Which is how he's got himself back into shape after being a little fatso.
Wait, are we saying Hector's up here while we were getting ready to leave?
No, you can't see him. He's hiding from you. He rolled let me just roll dice. A 75 stealth check. Oh, I actually rolled 16, 16, 15. That would have been a pretty good stealth check. Hector's with Hallie. He's like her little helper. So you have to go through her. Don't do that. Von, are you tree shredding?
Yes.
Nice. You can see, yeah, the plants that have been destroyed have been pulled out now, so there was a bit of a clearer path here. So you can see if you were to tree stride back here, there was going to be a nice pathway to step out onto should you do it again. Hallie has promised you that, but yeah, she gives you a hug, Faywin, wishes you well, shows the sending stone. She's like, don't be a stranger, I know I won't be. You go up to the tree, cast tree stride, open up the portal. Where are you portaling back to?
The edge of Dunborough, the last place we came from before we went to Redvant.
Nice.
We say Zaga goes in for a hug with Faywin's mum before we leave as well.
Oh,
Can her AC be super fucking high because he opened the door to Elias's ring?
I don't think she would be as friendly with the hug. I think, I think as you go for the hug, she kind of not would step back, but you would definitely get a frostiness from her, Zaga, as she's like, oh, it looks like the spell's happening. You must get yourself through. Keep yourself well. And she's like waving at you as you go through. But yeah, you would see almost that she like goes to step to the side. Hector hisses at you.
Zaga ignores the unfriendliness.
As yeah, you tree start to pick a tree in the near where you left that you would have kept that in your mind as you open up the tree to step yourself back into the border forest, leaving behind the city of Allhearth and landing back deep in the forest. A whole day later.
Zaga says, I think we were going back to Redvant.
No, the plan was always to come back here.
Wait,
I'd
this
like
isn't
to-
Redvant. No, I'm joking with you. I knew we go to the forest.
Border forest. Cool. So I'm assuming are you heading in the same direction you were heading before?
Yes.
into
Yeah.
the southeast. Nice, sweet. Let's take it. I need to quick wee. Take a quick pee break. I've drunk so much Pepsi that I'm going to wet myself. So yeah, as you tree stride through, you land back in the forest. The forest this morning is nice and peaceful, but we will deal with the forest once I have dealt with my wee. We'll be back in a second. So cool. You land back in the forest, back on the outskirts of the hex you're on, as you were moving towards Dunborough, out on the coast, on the river. Still, the hex you are moving into is the same hex as before. So again, the trees are. It's still a forest, but they are sparse. You can see to the south. So these hexes are so many miles away, but you can see when the terrain is changing. So you can see to the south is where the forest starts to get really dense, and you kind of are skirting alongside the densest part of the forest as you head towards Dunborough. So, is there anything you would like to prepare or do or check before you just start your trekking? It's early in the morning, so you would just essentially get on the road and start moving towards, hopefully finding the remnants, the remains of whatever this town once were.
I suppose I just want to listen out to see if there's any chaos. I imagine there's not, but you never know with these things.
Listen for chaos. The chaos is standing right beside you.
I want to cast Companion Languages on myself.
Nice. Cool. So you start moving forward. You are looking for, I suppose, what way would you approach?
What are we looking for here? We're looking for signs of Undriel, right?
You are
And
looking
Ileana.
for signs. Yeah.
So, Andrea went here looking for Ileana,
Undriel's moved down. So.
Scryer.
but Andrea is now left.
You just-
As we moved a bit further down, can I ritually do commune with nature again to get an idea of peoples and buildings in the area? So
Yep.
I guess that would lead us to Dunborough.
Yeah.
Help guide us to.
Yes.
Well, I remember when I prestidigitation on the letter.
Ooh, yes. Give me an Orcornor. Orcornor.
13.
13. That's not so good. That's not so good. Roll a d4.
3.
3. You. You clear the second blob, or part of it. So you definitely can make out that second paragraph says the agent that betrayed its kind. That bit clears up, and then on top you get the first part of the word, which says DR, and then you can't work out quite the rest of the 13.
D for Delta or G
D
for
for
Golf?
Delta, but you can pretty much see the D there,
Oh.
and it's DR, and then there's a number of letters that come after, but you can't quite make out what they say. You haven't cleared it enough. Another go on it on a lower DC will clear it. Yeah, so it says seek the, and then it's DR, and then it goes, if that fails, use the blade. And then the agent that betrayed its kind has been offered as a gift to the forest.
As he's doing that, I'd like to say, now we're on the topic of the letter, that I'd been doing some reading about groups within the area that are and then say about the webbing, the knowledge circles, and they don't sound like the nicest gang. But without giving the information as to where I've obtained that knowledge. Just from reading.
Wait, go for that again. So you tell everyone pretty much no information.
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay.
But more about the because I think last time when we did checks, we knew a bit about circles of people.
You've all shared information, right? You asked Viper to investigate.
Yeah.
Yeah, so then maybe a link to the drow elves, the council of spiders.
Yeah. So I want to tell them about spiders and webs, and maybe link it back to the circle bit in the letter. Because a web is like a network, that sort of thing. So not necessarily giving them additional information, but just reiterating it, knowing inside why I'm saying it.
Okay. Cool. And then you're carrying on. So commune with... I should work out what I was supposed to do with that, and I realized nothing. Commune with nature. You get a big, strong sense of the river that's flowing, and you get a ping of buildings or the remnants of buildings near the river. So you assume your best bet is to head towards the river, follow it, and from the knowledge you had from one of your roles before, you know that Dumbra before was not a huge town, but was a fishing village. So you're like, head to the river, head down. We should be pretty much on track, which makes sense. So you can do that. You can head that way. You can't get lost because you've got a ranger with you, so you can all head out towards and find signs. You also know you sent Undriel down the river. This is that river you sent Undriel down.
And she tells us down the river.
Ooh, what a pitch. Nice. So you make your
Can I
way.
chat to Jeff as we're walking?
If you would like to chat to Jeff, is anything in particular?
Not really.
He's happy for a conversation.
Yeah.
He's like, I can't smell, but I get the smell that we're not in a city.
On our way to one, Jeff. Got a lead that
Perfect.
might be able to get you out of the ring.
That's what I like to hear. Team that works together gets a soul out of the ring in no time. You're Joffrey. You trek for the morning, at least. As you're getting towards the middle morning into the early afternoon, you can hear the river. And as you breach through the trees, the tree line runs right up as well. Another weird thing about the way this forest was created is that you don't see this like falling away of the trees as it gets close to the river. The trees almost run all the way up. You almost would feel like as you look across the river itself, actually at this point it's actually quite wide. You wouldn't be able to swim across this river. You'd have to boat across the river to get to the western shore. But it looks like the trees just continued straight across, like regardless of the river. You would imagine, you wouldn't be difficult to imagine that within this water are probably stumps of dead trees, almost like you took a tree paintbrush and just painted west to east, east to west, whichever way, and that's how it runs. The trees run right up to the shore, run right into the water at some points, then you disappear across the river and you see the same trees appearing on the western border. But as you get there, this is the first time that a lot of you would have been this far west, the river that runs straight down the middle, apart from you, Yvonne. You obviously have lived west of this river. And seeing those trees, you kind of get not the feeling that you're not that close, but you are much closer than you have been for a very long time to your home. But yeah, you follow the river southbound until you start to see the signs of trees that have been felled, of some what's it called, estuaries, where like the river has been diverted slightly away from the bank, and you start to see where it's been kind of formed and pulled inland, and it looks a lot more man-made. Essentially, the diversion of this river, the movement of the river widens up. Instead of this fast-flowing river that's just running down to the south, you can see that where the estuaries are, where there's man that has been involved, that you can see that there are some remnants, some signs of some docks and some ports, and seeing that is what cottons you on to you being close. And then as you kind of come round close to where that land is really boggy and really swampy, you just catch the signs, very faint signs of smaller foundational structures, just like the bottom 2 or 3 layers of stone. Oh God, I got that. On some of these areas, fully covered in moss. And as you look further in, a bit further back, you can see what is a slightly larger stone structure. But everything around in this area, bridges are kind of fell. There's very few remnants of what would have been like wooden structures here. They seem to have rotted or disappeared or whenever there. All that seems to be left are these like proper old Roman ruins. You're just getting the base layer of foundations that are stone and covered in moss here. As around you, it's incredibly peaceful. You get the feeling that you have come upon or come close to what would have been the fishing town of Dunborough, but this looks nothing like where you were before. Even when you were in the other town, which is definitely called Whitewood, that still had the remnants. That had like a plaza that had a lot of stonework. You came out into the plaza. There were stone buildings clearly here and built around. This feels very, very rustic, apart from this stone building that is sat at the far side of it, which is again completely covered in moss and grass, and is dilapidated and broken on its entryways up and around.
Wow, this town's really quaint and stuff, but I don't see a death bloom here. So should we move on to the next place, or do we want to go look at that impressive building?
I mean, there should be someone else here, right, Fabian?
Ileana, the hag, the one that L'Oreal's friend went to find after R.I.P. L'Oreal died. So Andriel came here looking for Ileana, so Ileana should potentially be around this area.
Is your shard thingy buzzing? Does it do that?
If we're near portals and
Just
I
balls, not
yeah.
fey beings.
I don't think I know. I look down. Is it buzzing?
Do we know why?
Not lit up
I'm saying
anymore.
I'm saying this in character. Do we know why there's such an impressive building compared to? And I kind of gesture to the rest of the ruins of the town.
Is there any one way to find out?
Arta, give me a
The anticipation is palpable.
history. Give me a second. I'm looking at your skills. Give me an insight.
Insight would be good.
Yeah, give me an insight.
That's a nat 1.
Nice.
That's 9.
You ain't got a fucking clue.
Fuck's sake.
You're like, that's a big building.
Should we go and have a look?
It's over here, right?
Yep.
Can I use? Oh, I didn't press long rest when we were at my mum's.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so you'll have a long rest.
Could I use find traps?
You can
As we approach this
use
place.
find traps. Read me find traps.
You sense the presence of a trap within range that's within sight. That's 120 foot. A trap for the purpose of the spell includes anything that would inflict a sudden or unexpected effect you consider harmful or undesirable. The spell would sense an area with the alarm spell, a glyph of warding, or a mechanical pit trap, but would not reveal a natural weakness in the floor. It doesn't tell me where it is, merely that the one is present, and the general nature of the danger.
Nice. As you, and I'm assuming you're going towards the large building rather than anything else that is hanging around here.
Zach will be hanging back about 20 feet because he doesn't like the look of the moss, and bad
Yep.
things tend to happen when we explore places.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, you could make your way. So the river, where it's like forded in, and where they've made like where what would have been the fishing port is there. There's like a small what would be bridge, so you can get within like what is it, 120 feet.
Mm-hmm.
So you're within 120 feet. You're the other side of the river as you get within 120 feet of this larger stone building. As you're kind of slowly, how long does it last for?
Doesn't say. Just says instantaneous.
Oh, so it just gives you a
action.
ping. You sense the presence of any trap within line of sight. Okay, cool. You get multiple pings from that building. Both mechanical and arcane.
Okay, it's trapped. It's mechanical and arcane.
Good
Why is
to
it?
know.
Yeah.
Knowing what Jenny done with disguising her face with like visual illusions, can I detect any visual illusions from my true sight?
How far is your true sight out to? 60 foot.
60 foot.
You'd have to get a bit closer. As you get closer to just like the front end of that building, in true sight it looks just as mossy and broken as it does in your normal vision. You don't feel like at 60 foot range, if you're taking the first like 10 foot of this in to stay back, it looks exactly the same.
Yeah.
Big John Boy is gonna come in here, and I'm gonna get him to go closer to the building
Mm-hmm.
and see if he can see any movement or sign of life.
Yeah.
And advise him that it's trapped, and if he dies, I'm sorry, and I'll bring him back.
If he dies, he dies. Cool. So you're just sending him towards a building
Yes.
up high, or like what?
Uh,
What's his plan? So
We'll
you've got what you've got in
start
front of you looks like a stone ruin. It's like 25, 30 foot across. It goes like 5-10 foot up. There's a few crumbled stairways that go up. It has a few different levels to it, but it looks like a ruin. This is like a stone ruin. So you either, it's like, are you sending him to bird's eye view it? Are you sending him to like actually dive around? How's he looking? He could go up and look, but you can also look at what's up there. You can't really see anything running around at the moment.
yeah. So I want to send him up bird's eye view, but to look kind of in the middle, inside a little bit that maybe we can't see because of the front of that ruin.
Mm-hmm.
And not necessarily running around, but signs of life, any sort of odd movements, or if he can see, he wouldn't know that there were traps necessarily, but like big pits or something.
Mm-hmm. Give me an investigation check for John.
Would that count as perception?
No, that's perception. Investigation is investigation.
What does that come under though?
It should just be.
Intelligence.
He doesn't have an additional skill on it.
Well, he's got keen sight, where he has
That's perception.
advantage on perception checks rather than advantage.
No, it doesn't get
Rather
advantage on
than
it.
investigation. So that's only a 12.
12. He.
Oh no, hang on, that's even less. It's 9
Okay.
because it's intelligence based. It's a bit thick.
Now, as you send him up to look, as he flies about, he doesn't see any entryways into this thing. It just looks like it looks like an enclosed stone ruin. Like he can fly up, there's stairways, he flies around, he's looking for something. He is not seeing or noticing anything, but can't get in. It's not like he's trying to look for entryways. There are no entryways that he can find.
Okay. I recall him.
Mm-hmm.
He can't find a way in, but he's not too sharp today.
I can't
So
find a way in. What's going on? Oh, my knee just clinked. What are you doing?
Do?
You know this area is heavily trapped. But yeah, as you're all stood a nice safe distance back, you're just staring at some rocks right now.
How far out were the pings, like you could tell how far away from the building the pings were, or was it
For the fine traps?
like yeah?
Yeah, you just know the area it's in. So you would have just known that she got all the pings from the building.
So we could get closer because there's not pings this far out.
Yeah, you didn't get any pings. You didn't get any pings on the ground around you, no. So you could get up to the building before stepping onto any stone if you would like. But yeah, you don't know at what range they have anything here. You just, as that fine trap's pinged out, you got 120 foot range across the river. There is this quite clearly this old stone ruin. Pff, that was the ping. You got multiple. As the fine traps goes out, it's like, bah, this thing is lit up. It's like, that motherfucker is trapped. And then John's flown in, looks round, cannot find a way in. This just looks like an encased stone
I will
tomb.
say to Faywin, did John find any doors? You know I can pick them.
Ah, yes.
So I'm just checking which spells I've got
Yep.
ready to.
If we just like to roll initiative, you can kill
Dagger
each other on the
obviously
doorstep.
oblivious to the context.
You can kill him whenever you want.
Is there any like statues or fountains or anything like that around near the structure as well? Because
There-
knowing how we got into where L'Oreal was,
Mm-hmm.
we flicked a switch from a statue or something similar to that, didn't we? We flicked something to unlock the passageway in. So I'm wondering whether there, with them being aligned in some way, there may well be something similar.
Give me a check. Your choice. It feels like an investigation, but you could well be looking. If you want to, you could maybe make an arcana if you want to look for some magical interference.
Yeah, I'll look for some magical interference. It's a 14.
14. This all looks, I will use the word ruin a final time. There's a few bits here, but most of them, like, they look like they were probably pillars. This building looks like it was definitely the focal point of this town, quite clearly, but it's fully, like, it's the most disrepaired you would have seen. What is odd about it is that everything else, all the other ruins around, are like ground level foundational stonework. This is the full stone building. This was like the only stone building in this town. It looks like the other buildings were stone based, but probably wooden topped, which is why they've disappeared and no longer here. So as you're looking at like what would be an obvious, this thing looks untouched. It looks like you are the first people to come across this as you're staring at it now. Whether you want to see whether that is really the case, you know, it looks like at the building where you're looking at the building that no one's been here, that this hasn't been touched, but you know, or you've been told, so you think you know, that Andriel's come through here and that there is potentially someone that is living here. So it's whether you want to try and ascertain whether they've actually been here, and you don't want to go near the building. So you have the surrounding area that you could use as well as the building itself. But as you stare and look at it and look for this, that temple you went to before looked, whilst it was overgrown, looked like a temple. This looks like a ruin, and you can't see anything obvious.
Zach wants to ask Faywin. Hey Faywin, what's the name of the person we're looking for again?
Ileana.
Zach shouts out, Ileana!
As we're by like the river, Otto will use this conch of sea calling to summon some creatures to create a distraction.
To create a discussion?
Distraction.
Oh, distraction for
The
what?
water.
Okay.
See if it encourages anybody to come out and investigate.
What creatures do you summon? You have to roll for it, I think. Do you? Or do you choose?
Roll
You can get sharks, can't you?
well, there's 4 choices, so what would I roll?
A d4? Would that make sense?
Yeah, brain fire. For some reason, D4, I thought I had 3 numbers.
It's 4 choices. What dice would... How would I possibly use 1 dice to pick up 1 in 4 choice?
Reef sharks again.
Reef sharks, yeah. So you call, you use the conch to call out from the river, flying in. Definitely not should have been here. Some reef sharks appear swimming as you. I'm assuming. Have you all crossed the river yet? It's not difficult to cross the river. It's like there is a felled. There's a fucking fly in here, Snowy. There's like a felled bridge and a few like land masses, so you could easily just like hop across to get within 50, 60 foot of this building if you would like, or you can all stay the other side of the river and just keep looking at it from afar.
I'll go across.
I think I would have been within that range because I wanted to.
Oh yeah,
try and
you
see
wanted to
it
look. Yeah, so
anyway.
Von's already crossed over. So yeah, as you cross over, you call in these reef sharks who appear and start swimming around in this water. You can see the water is not deep everywhere. Like where the bit you've just forded, it's not where it goes inland. It definitely becomes very, very shallow. Out towards the river, it's where it's deeper. So they kind of stay in the deeper area, just swimming around, waiting for you. But yeah, nothing comes out. The shout of Ileana goes up. Nothing comes out. You hear it ring out. Well, for where you are, for this slight openness, you would hear Zaga's voice ring out and echo through the forest. Have a look at some. I would recommend people look at
this
checks.
is arguably concerning, isn't it? Don't really know what the plan is. I mean, we could just, go, but I suppose we need to know where Ileana is, don't we?
Did you say there was a door?
John's flown back, having not found a door. Also, a lot of the checks you rolled are not very good. Yeah. So all you know is that this area, Fabian's Traps has picked up to say this ruin is trapped, and is trapped a lot. But you don't know how or where, and John hasn't found a door. So at the moment, you're all just like teetering on the edge of moving forward, and you've just shouted out Ileana's, and again, nothing's really moved. So you've shouted out, and you're just staring back. You're staring down a big rock, or a ruined building.
Can I do an investigation or Arcana check to see if I can see any, disturbance or anything where a trap might be?
If you want to get close, yeah. So at the moment you have, I would say, think of your skill checks into 2 parts. You've got to do any more with the building, you're going to have to get closer to it, I think, because you've already peeved from like a distance and not really got too much. So making your way up and getting close to the stone and then looking for stuff, or you've got the surrounding area. So if this is where someone has been and Andriel or someone else has come through here, you have a river, you have the surrounding land, it's very swampy. So there's maybe a chance that you can spot something in the surrounding area, or you've got the building. But I would think about splitting your skill checks between the 2, potentially.
Mine would definitely be a surrounding area in an attempt to get closer to the building.
Yeah.
Can I do a survival check to see if I
Mm-hmm.
can see any sort of tracks that have been left in the swampy sort of area?
Yep.
What's the first roll? That's 24.
24, nice. You, yes. You can see coming out of, actually I would say, on the opposite side, so where you've come down, I'm going to need to flip this round, where you came down from the north, on the south side is where this building is, where you've crossed over, but the river obviously carries on running. You can spot and see there was like some what looked like trails, some footsteps that come in. Ooh. You see two things. One, you see a boat nestled under some like brush and some tree on the far side up with 24. So on the south side, on the same side that the building is on the river side, you can see where someone has like wedged a small wooden boat into the brush, into the like bushes that sit on the side, the trees that are there. Secondary, you see walking round the side to the where you kind of follow your eye from that boat to the side entrance. You pick up. Would you pick up that? No, I would say for now you just pick up the footprints. So the footprints that led you that way, you can see lead out to a boat. So looks like someone's landed by a boat or someone's using a boat, and there are footsteps that come into what would be like a side entrance. So as you're looking at this stone, you've got stairs that go up the front, stairs that go up the left, and stairs that go up the left and stairs that go up the right. These left-hand stairs you can see lead down and lead out towards the river. There are some footsteps that get close to there.
I got a 14 and an Arcana check.
Oh, nice. 14. As you get close and you're looking, you don't believe Faven. You are close. You're not going on the rock, but you're getting close to have a look at what's going on here. As you're looking, this just looks like a ruined stonework. Like this is just a shitty old ruined whatever this building was. You can't see any signs of arcane influence on any sign of traps.
Working on the basis that it's a small town, but there's a big fuck-off building.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse my friend. Can I do a religion check to see whether it's some kind of temple or something?
Mm-hmm.
That is an 8.
8. I mean, you don't really operate with temples. You're a wandering. You're a wanderer. You don't really have pillage and home. But I think even with
Why are you insulting me as well?
because you rolled shit twice when I tried to give you a wisdom roll. No, I think you don't recognize it as like it doesn't ping in your mind as a church or something that you would recognize the like religion of, but you know you're on the right track. When you've been wandering and you've gone through smaller towns and you've been through the border forest before, usually the most ordained buildings were held by either in religious towns, churches, or like that. They're places of worship. So you would assume that this was at one point in time probably a place of worship.
Okay, that's fine.
But it doesn't. It looks weird to you. It doesn't look like a normal place of worship. But you're on the right track with that.
Can I head down towards the boat?
Mm-hmm.
See if I can see anything
Yeah.
down by it. Leave it in or near the boat.
Yeah. As you go down towards the boat, you recognise the boat. Looks an awful lot like a boat that you sent out from a port a while ago. Bit more tattered. Looks like it's taken some damage, but looks very similar to a wooden boat, about the size that you sent out with some merfolk before.
Yeah, that's what I was worried about.
Not believing Faerwin, I will move forward.
Nice.
Setting off said trap. Not like
What? There's no trap. Cool. So you step up the small stairs onto the main like, because it raises up, so you're like on a platform. This area that you're looking out on is just like a flat platform, It's where all the staircases come up to, and at the back end you can see where there's like a centerpiece. It would have maybe been a statue, maybe would have been it's a large round block. It's like 15, 20 foot across, this object, but what you're on is just like a big plinth, like a plaza, but much smaller, and 5 foot, 10 foot up in the air. So yeah, you can climb upstairs. As you climb upstairs, and the way that it's like subsided, it's slightly up. It feels like it's slightly up a hill, like this thing has maybe sunk a little bit in the ground. Yeah, as you step up and start, like the first few steps, get onto the top, nothing happens.
Interesting. And what's in front of me? Like, wow.
Rubble. As you look, you can just see bits of fallen stone. You can see the like bases of where there were maybe some plinths, some columns, but they're just the bases that are sat there now. Again, as you're looking around close to you, it just looks at like stand a glance like stone and moss and. So I would say you got to the top of the stairs, and these like you've moved like 5-10 foot. So you're up on that platform and you're just looking out. You haven't stepped any further forward. But as you've kind of all watched, Otter has stepped up and nothing's really happened. Von's out to his far left, and the rest of you are stood looking at him.
I'll keep going forward then.
Yeah, nice. Give me a deck saving throw, please.
It's a good roll for once. 21.
21, nice. As you step 2 steps forward, you feel your foot depress one of these plates, one of these like, well, they would be giant slabs, and as you push it, you feel that subsidence piece just tilt a little bit more, as almost like a sliding stone lifts up, and you start to slide backwards towards what you can see is where the staircase was. It's kind of broken away, and you're sliding down behind the staircase. As you get there, you manage to jump up and land before. But what you could give me a quick. What's your passive perception?
Passive is 15.
15. You can see in that grate are like bodies of rotting carcass animals that have clearly stumbled across the same trap and slid in and just been like sliced by almost like these sideways facing spike traps that are just pummeled into as you've jumped and landed back on top of this stone. As you jump up, the plate resets itself.
So, yeah, you might not want to step on that bit.
That's what you get for not trusting me.
How many traps do you think there are?
Many.
Oh, good. Well, surely, Ileana, how did she get past all the traps?
If only somebody had a fly potion.
You can't fly inside, and I'm assuming these ruins have a roof.
That's what the strange thing is. As you're looking at it, that's what I mean. So even Otto, when you're up there, you stepped up these steps. You've got this large, like, plaza, this plateau, these staircases that come up. But you're like, would say 10 foot, but you're between 5 and 10 foot up, where this thing's on an incline. You can see this 20 foot at the end of it. This 20 foot, what looked to be almost like square. This structure at the end looks maybe like it could be a stone, like almost looks like a stone hut in size at one end. But looking for, you can't see a door. You were just on a plaza, and all of a sudden the plaza opened up. So you know that if it's opened up, that you could have gone underneath, but you would have gone into a spike trap. So it's a very strange. It's like you're on the roof of a building almost, but you can't see any entrance doorways. It does feel like it's an enclosed stone box.
Oh, definitely can't fly then. Perfect.
So you could fly around it. That's what I'm saying. With John, he could have flown around and looked, but you're just looking at top down of a.
Based on the kind of entranceway, how thick do we think the walls are?
You'd have to get close to look. Well, I mean, Otto could tell you that bit where the trap was that rolled up wouldn't have been very thick because it's rolled, but the rest of it looks like pretty
Ignore
thick.
me. I've removed meld stone or whatever it's called
stone shape
from my list because it didn't come up.
Oh, I hate when that happens.
Yeah, and I'm not gonna wreck on it and say I did it in the morning because that defeats the object of the puzzle.
Well, maybe it does, maybe it doesn't.
An idea, is it? Does it actually? I guess it understands me when I do that one.
That slab that's sort of tilted down when I stood there, how was it, like a 5x5 square?
It would have been, so the whole slab itself was probably 15 foot across by 15 foot across. So, and it's, no, that doesn't make sense. It probably would have been more. It would have been 20 foot by 20 foot. So as you walked up the main stairs, you can see that you kind of walked up the main stairs, took a few steps forward, and then it's triggered. So it's set to catch the stairway plus another 5 foot as it just tilted and rolled down. But it didn't go, the way it tilted, it means it's like a 20 foot square. So there was space the other side of it. There was still another like 20, you probably were another 30 or 40 foot from getting to that statue. It's a big plaza, and that was just the front that turned. But behind that 20 foot is probably another 40 or 50 foot before you got to the big stone hut thing on top. So it's a big old plaza.
Can I follow the footprints up as far as I can go to that side staircase?
Mm-hmm. You want to go up the staircase?
So they lead directly to the staircase then, yeah?
They as you follow those, they do, they get close. As you get close there as well, you see on the stairway, on the bottom step, is the remnants of a bloody footprint. And it being would be like a boot print.
Okay. So I've got two different things I want to possibly try. First of all, I'm going to try using the secondary effect of detect faults, hoping that the stone or whatever directly below me is thin enough for it to work, but use the ability to detect if there's a presence of thinking creatures that I can't see within 30 feet of me. Like, thinking downwards rather than outwards. I don't, obviously, I mean, I imagine it may well be too thick, but...
No, 30 foot, so you want to get to the stairway and then think, and it's 30 foot and you're kind of generally coding.
Yeah, but there's the penetration rules.
Oh, yeah.
Are, obviously metal stuff is its own rules, but it's 2 foot of rock. It doesn't mention... Well, yeah, it mentions rock and metal. For the barriers. It's 2 foot of rock or 2 inches of any metal other than lead or a thin sheet of lead.
You see the stone as you cast and feed out the detect thoughts towards this building. As you do so, you see the stonework even of these steps, and these are some big chunky stones. You think the walls of these are made of stone or rock that is more than 2 foot thick. Give me an Arcana check.
So 27.
You know the limitations of your detect thoughts, and you know that this building is almost like ideally designed to block those things, which makes you think whoever's trying to hide in there knows what the limitations of magic may be.
Yes. Okay.
It's almost like, that's a bloody good coincidence that you can't detect the beings inside this. Oh, wait, maybe that's not a coincidence.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah. Had you not had detect traps, this building looks like a ruin that is just been left behind here. The fact that you picked up the detect traps is what has alerted you all to what potentially is going on here. But had that spell not gone off, but otter nearly falling into a spike trap. This looks pretty bog standard.
I have an idea.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna point my finger to the sky, and I'm gonna cast Shatter in the sky.
You're going to shatter in the sky.
Yep.
Are we getting a 4-1 of this, or are we all about to shit? ourselves?
Yeah.
I imagine you're not gonna get a full warning because I'm kind of just sat there trying to work out what the hell we're doing because we're just looking at the big box.
Yeah. You love doing that.
And then I'm going to sit down, not saying a word to anyone after doing that, sit cross-legged, and I'm going to cast a ritual spell.
Mm-hmm.
And do we know what that ritual spell is called? We do. It's called Commune.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to contact my deity.
I'm going to speak to my daddy. And you cast Shatter in the Sky just for funsies?
It's more like a wake-up call. I did it last time. I feel like
okay.
it's like I feel like I need to do it now.
I mean, if you want to
every
use a
time.
second level spell to wake up, that's fucking
Yeah.
A-okay with me.
Helps me get in the Zen space to
Yeah.
do the ritual.
I just like to check.
Commune.
I don't, there's no judgment. It's just me checking that what you're doing is what you're doing. Because it makes me feel...
Oh, do I need to roll? No.
I need to read commune, but... so, let me get... let me give you, whilst you're doing that, so the rest of you can kind of plan what you are doing, because I fear you are getting lost. So Von,
It's fine. My questions are not going to be. I know what the questions are already.
Mm-hmm. No, that's fine. I just want to, just while the rest of you doing that, this may or may not help. Who knows? So Von, you are down here.
Mm-hmm.
So this is the river runs kind of out to the south, and this is where you've made your way in. You've made your way across this bridge here. You found the boat down. You found some blood on the footsteps there, and that's your footsteps. Otter, you took the steps up here, and then a square of this moved away, and that block you see at the back is that larger building. So you can see there's bits here. You can see there's fallen columns. They're like stumps of columns are left here. And you can see there's a stairwell on the far side. The rest of you, I'm assuming, John's here as well, are milling about this side of the river, deciding what it is you're going to do. But just so the rest of you have some context, that is what you were looking at.
Yeah.
Commune.
John will be next to me, please.
Commune, yes.
Commune. What?
So I'm contacting my deity to ask up to 3 questions that can be answered with a yes or no, and I must ask these questions before the spell ends. I've got a minute. Cool.
Yep.
Okay.
Think so.
Hey, dude.
Depends what you're asking.
It's been a while. Haven't been not the best in keeping in touch. Right, I've got a minute. I should ask these 3 questions.
Mm-hmm.
First question. Are you good?
Do we hear him answer these questions?
No, I think you just see him cast Shatter. You all turn around and look, and then he just sits on the floor. Who saw him commune last time? Was it Otter?
No one.
There was no one.
He walked in on me afterwards, and I was like naked on the floor.
Which I just thought was normal.
You cast out the window, didn't you? Of,
Yeah. No, I
silent
cast
dagger.
Shatter out the window, and then I communed.
I think you would on Are You Okay? I think you would get back.
I can get unclear back
And-
as well. It doesn't have to be
Yeah.
yes or no.
I think, and it's not a yes or no. I think there's an uneasiness. Yeah.
Ooh, that's not good.
Surety.
Well, we'll do this more often.
Mm-hmm.
Question 2. Is there someone inside that box that needs saving?
No.
Doesn't matter if we go in anyway.
You want more question? That wasn't the question.
That was my last question.
What? Does it matter? I thought you said it doesn't matter. Does it matter if we go in anyway?
In a case where a one-word answer could be misleading or contrary to the deity's interests.
Ooh. Yeah, I don't think you would get. I think you would get another unclear.
Well, thanks for your help. I'll take those things on board.
Mm-hmm.
And then at that moment, the spell runs out the minute.
Yeah.
And I do like a salute to the sky or some shit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
I like to think when I'm communing, my eyes go like blue, like lightning, thunder stuff.
Ooh, nice.
But we can retcon that.
Oh. Yeah, I think you would.
Because it's a ritual. I've been sat there for 10 minutes doing this as well.
Yeah. So, yeah, as you guys look around, you.
I mean, I guess while he's doing that, then
yes,
I'm going to pull out the stone of controlling earth element.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to use the command word.
Yep.
Which I'm pretty sure was
Nipples.
No. Yep.
And I'm going to command the earth elemental.
Let's get the crap out of me. Yep.
To use his what's it called? The Earth Glide ability.
Mm-hmm.
To see if see how far down, like directly below us here, it can go before it comes across. I don't know if it see if it can come across a cavern or something like that.
Cool.
Obviously, it only burrows through non-magical, unworked earth and stone.
So where? So you summon it on the ground.
Yeah, behind me.
Okay, give me a second.
Not up by the actual.
Yeah. Give me. Oh. I haven't got my keyboard, so I need to clear.
If this big stone cube is completely useless and we've wasted the last hour trying to work out how to get into it without activating traps, I'm going to be fuming.
Well, I was like, oh, guys, I thought you guys were going to spend more time there, so I just created an absolute zero thing for you to play with. I wouldn't do that, would I?
There's nothing in it. There's nothing in it. I'm telling you now.
Nice. You're
going to be fuming and livid all in one session.
Yeah, it's all going to happen at once.
If nothing happens in the next 5 minutes, I'm going to take that flyberry and I'm going to go for a stroll.
Something's going to happen. You put the stone in the ground, say the word that shall not be said. It's an earth element, right? I just need to get the...
Yes.
And it's got earth glide. Cool. As you put the stone in the ground, cause the earth elemental to appear and give it the command. It turns towards you, grunts, and I need you to roll initiative.
Fuck's sakes.
Who could have guessed that after the last time it was used?
17.
13.
So this is the day Von turns on us all.
That was not a joke.
That's an 8 for me.
Bloody hell, that's low for you.
I know.
24.
It's about normal for Von.
Fucking 24.
I'm usually
17.
really crap when you only get a +2.
Who got 17?
Arthur.
Oof, that's high for you.
Yeah, I rolled a 16.
Nice.
You get
I'm-
+1 to initiative.
I'm assuming Zaga's got like a 75.
I got +1
No,
to
I'm
initiative.
not the highest for this one. 22.
Oh,
That means I rolled higher than you. Ha 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 ha.
yeah. Fabian?
13.
13. Oh, no, she got 14 last time. Yeah, as you place this in the ground, the earth elemental rises up. You try to tell it to move. It rolled shitty on its. I will say you are aware enough that as you command it to move, you see it just turn towards you and you realise shit, rather than it getting any sort of. Maybe I will give it a surprise. Actually, I rolled slightly better. It's still not that great on initiative. As its earth elemental turns towards you, Von, as you obviously have the chance to shout out as everyone else is there. Otter, you're up first. Otter, Zaga, Arta, before the earth elemental go. I should change the music. So yeah, this earth elemental has been called up. The one you've seen before, it immediately turns on Von. Otter.
Right, fucking hell. I will aim Eldritch Blast at it.
Yeah, you can. It's big, so you can see it from where you are. You are still stood on that plateau, so you're up high, but this thing is also tall.
Yeah.
Do you want me to keep track of the HP or
No, I've got it here.
you want?
That's why it took me a while to click on it to find out exactly what it was.
First beam. 26 to hit.
Yep, hits. 26.
Yeah, I rolled well on this one. It's 18 I rolled. I rolled shit on the damage, so that'll be 6 force damage.
Whoa, God, don't do me too dirty. Let me just check it hasn't got resistance. No, cool. Cool. Eldritch Blast.
Yeah, second beam's 23 to hit.
Yep.
That's about 10 force damage.
Yep.
And third one will be a 19 to hit.
Ooh, 3 Eldritch Blasts. 19 hits, yep.
That's another 6 force damage.
Nice. Same where you are?
Yeah.
Nice. Zaga, you're up. You are just there.
What's that behind the elemental? Is that Bond?
That's fine, yeah.
I'm going to use a charge on the bagpipes to cast Shatter.
Ooh, damn.
I'm assuming that
You stole my plan.
I'm assuming it's a creature made of inorganic material.
Yep. Thunder damage.
Yeah, it will be. Wisdom saving throw disadvantage.
Disadvantage.
I'm casting it where it won't catch fire.
Yeah, you should be able to get enough of it on the south side. It rolled an 11. No, sorry, 9 at disadvantage.
Yeah, that's a fail. What's the damage?
I don't know, you've got right.
Depends what level it casts at.
Only level 2.
Okay.
3d8s.
3d8.
Let's do it again, Arthur. 23 thunder damage.
23. Jesus. You, as that goes off, you just see parts of it fall apart. One of its arms falls off. This thing goes immediately bloodied.
Immediately bloodied after 20.
That 23 looks like it did a lot more than 23, yeah. That shatter. Actually, Arta, roll a... just give me a wisdom saving throw.
Oh, God. 26.
26. You are not going to let the fact that he's only just learnt how to use a spell and it looks like the most damage ever dealt by this spell has been done. That's not going to affect you. You're a strong, confident cleric. You just spoke to your god. You're better than that.
Oh, I'm gonna.
And it's your turn.
Wait,
Unless
how
Saga's going
much
to do
damage
something
did he
else.
do? How did he 23 with 3d8? That's madness.
With the plus.
He was using
Cool,
D100s.
Can I have a
Yes,
con
you
save
better.
with disadvantage because I'm casting Shatter and I believe it's an inorganic material?
Wait, what?
Great idea out there.
Wait, hold on. I'm doing. Yeah, okay.
Wait, check. Is it con save?
It's con save for me.
With disadvantage, that's still a 16.
That's a fail.
Oh.
Thank God for that. Because
Someone
I
said
used a
that would've
6th
been
level
funny.
spell slot and I'm going to channel Divinity.
Fixed.
That is.
You passed the wisdom saving throw. You weren't mentally affected by it.
Slightly
I got to show my boy,
Do it.
my boy up in the clouds how it's done.
Do it. What's the max damage on it?
That is 7 times 8, so 56
Jesus
points of thunder damage,
Christ.
please.
Yeah, it's dead. It crumbles. The second shatter is significantly louder than the first shatter as this thing crumbles in front of you, leaving behind the stone that you cast it from, Von, and you are out of combat.
Just out of interest, how much damage could
Did it
I
have-
have done?
What do you mean?
How much health did I have before?
126.
Yeah, the full health is 126.
Oh, okay, so maybe doing a 6th level spell wasn't a bad idea.
Oh yeah, you got
Let's
rid of
hope
it. It didn't get go. It was after you, so it would have got a swing at Von, and it's not weak.
Well, it's
So-
a good thing that we might not need the mass healing word from that later.
Yeah. I hope
we
that was
just
the
have three
encounter
shatters.
that I planned for you. Oh wait, probably wasn't, seeing as Von just did it. So
Yeah. Well, if there is anyone around here, let's say, after kind of like almost what's that when you like rub your hands? You know what I mean?
no.
After that, I'm like wipe
Oh.
my hands on my trousers.
Oh,
sort
okay.
of
So you're
thing.
saying, yeah.
And I'm checking the dirt underneath my fingernails. And I say, well, if there is anyone here, I'm sure they've heard it by now.
3 shatters will do that.
Wait, wasn't it 2 shatters? And then
Yeah, you fired
Oh,
one
No,
over
I
the air
cast
for
one
no
before
reason.
my
Yeah.
commune.
yeah, you did.
Probably not going to bring them up here though. It's going to keep them down there or wherever.
Well, from what I gather, there isn't anyone that needs saving in there. I know this for reasons.
How do you know that they don't need saving?
Did you not see me sitting on the floor for 10 minutes?
Yeah, but you do that sometimes without really doing anything, so I wasn't quite sure what was going on.
Hearing that, I sit on the floor and do nothing.
Case in point.
No, I had a little word with the big man upstairs. Or woman, I'm not sure. I should know this. I'm not the most about. Yeah, apparently there's no one that needs saving inside of that here thing. Though my question was very vague, so I may have not asked the right question. It might be like a genie situation.
Right, but there is someone in there.
Well, I didn't. That wasn't a question I asked. I just asked if there was anyone that needed saving.
So
and
someone
whether it was
could be in there and doesn't need to be saved because
Exactly,
perhaps
so
they're
it's-
hiding.
Oh, that could be true. I should have probably asked better questions in hindsight.
What other questions did you ask?
How are you?
I'm fine, but what question did you ask?
No, that's what I asked.
You asked okay. And what else did you ask? How many questions can you ask in that conversation?
3.
So
What
what was the
was the
third?
last You're not going to ask how he was?
Well, how was he? I wasn't aware.
I don't know. Unsure.
So you didn't even get an answer?
I got a feeling and like an inkling.
The world is safe
And the
in your
feeling
hands.
was unsure?
Yeah, like conflicted.
And so what was the third question? Whether it was Ileana, whether Andrea had been here, or if we were
whether
in
it was
danger?
whether it was worth charging in.
And what was the answer to whether it was worth going in?
Unsure.
Fawen's face has never been straighter.
Von, give me an Arcana check.
Another one.
Fucking hell.
Another one?
13.
13. That was really, really quick how that thing turned on you. Like, almost you spawned it, and then it was fighting you. That's weird.
Yeah.
Like, really quick. 13's not great, right?
Tiger's actually going to shout upon. Are you sure you know how to use that stone properly? It didn't do that when I used it.
No, you just chose to turn it against us.
Not strictly true, but sure.
While all these lot are bickering between themselves, or cast fly on himself and fly over to the hut.
Cast fly on himself?
Yes.
You fucking dirty little cheat. When did you get fly? You've been adding spells to your list, have you?
It's been in my list for a long time.
When do warlocks get fly? Let me just double check you're not cheating. I don't trust you, but you are literally the biggest cheater I know. Cool.
I last used it when before the boulettes.
He has used it before.
Yeah, I know. I just like
But
bullying.
I didn't know whether it was burn cheating at that point.
Who even knows? It could well be. Nice.
I've been avoiding trying to use it because I only got 2 slots, but it's just get a bit long.
I mean, it's because you guys are really good at spells.
Whilst he's doing that, I say to the rest of the group, how deadly do we reckon these traps? And then I stand up.
then I watch him fly. So you fly. You just don't want to be touching the floor. You want to just fly forward to where that thing is. Where are you aiming to go?
Essentially, to where that hut is,
Yeah. So okay, you just want to fly towards that.
Look, is it like a platform ledge around the hut I can stand on? Can't quite tell from.
No, so the hut is like the elevation's not there. So you've gone up the stairs, which put you like 10 foot up. This hut is like another 10 foot up. So the hut itself, so you can go up to the front of the hut. But I say hut, it's just like a stone. It's the bottom of a stone plinth almost is what it looks like, but there's nothing on top. So there's just a lid on top. Just where you want to float. It's whether you just want to, are you just like going towards? I just don't know where you want to land, essentially. Or you're not landing, you're just going to hover.
Let's have to check how long I can fly for. I can fly for 10 minutes, I'll just hover.
Cool. Give me a wisdom saving throw.
Yes. 16.
16. Can you roll a d10, please?
Where's my D100?
D10. 8. Cool. You cast fly, come up and start moving. You get over the platform. As you get to the middle area around here, you're floating. You feel like you feel like a wave, almost like a wave of something hits you, but you just your mind scrambles. You can't remember why you're here, what you're doing and stuff. You immediately draw your sword to swing, and as you look left and right, there is nothing around you. And then as you like kind of look back, you've got your sword in your hand, but you can't quite work out why.
Old man moment then.
Yeah. As you're moving forward, it's almost like you lose yourself. You draw your sword. You go to swing. There's no one to swing at, and then you're a bit like what? Like Von, would say we'll play with the height. You would see, I don't know, it'd be flying as well. So you could see Otto go and then just draw his sword as if something's happening, and then kind of just look a bit befuddled.
I might just sort of stopped in place to the minute.
Yeah, Yeah, it's whether anyone else wants to do anything. Otherwise, you can roll me another d10.
Can I do? Can I do I guess, medicine check to see how fresh that blood footprint
Yeah.
is?
Yeah. Otto, give me another wisdom saving throw.
That's an 11.
11.
When he inevitably falls out the sky,
Yeah.
I want to ready an action, and that is a belly laugh.
Okay, good.
Was it 15 this time?
15, still a fail. Roll a d10 again. So that blood, as you're looking down, it looks... It's not so dried in. It hasn't been weathered. It doesn't. You don't feel like it's seen many rains. So if you feel like it's within the last couple of weeks, it's fresh enough. It's not wet, but it's not been here for so long. It's been here as long as the ruins for sure, but it's not been here so long that it's faded away enough. It's a clear enough boot print that you don't think it's seen many rains, if any, which makes you think it's been maybe within a week, 2 weeks. What's your D10?
I got a 1 on the die. 1.
Okay, cool. Yeah, you get befuddled and fly yourself off to the edge, still thinking that, okay, no, what was I here for? You're now just hovering around, confused about what is going on. Anyone else? Otto rolled another wisdom saving throw.
Just enjoying watching.
19.
19. You come to your senses. You realise that there was a glyph or something that you've triggered that cast a spell that just befuddled you. You kind of come to your senses and you've floated off. You're still flying, but you've just flown off the edge of the platform.
I relay that.
I would say collectively, as you look around, you're like piecing together stuff. You've made a fuck ton of noise. You've shouted out and you're setting off traps. Whoever is setting these things is either not home or knows you're here and is not coming out at the moment.
If anyone's got detect magic or dispel magic, may be useful right now.
No, I don't.
Saga takes a second to think about what spells he's prepared to say.
What am I doing here?
Oh, can I ask a question? With any of our shatters, did the building rock because it removes loose debris?
Yeah, there would be loads of loose rock that would fall about. It's a ruin, so there's bits on top that would shatter and move around, but the integrity of the wall didn't shake. This is still thick stone.
Okay.
So yeah, some of the bits are on top. It still looks like a ruin. So like maybe like the odd bit from the top would have fallen down. There's some rocks on the floors that would have shaken around. Maybe the bits that have fallen would have rattled on the plateau slightly. But to keep it away from Von, you would have had to keep it away from the wall itself. So you wouldn't have been able to put a shower on top without hitting.
Dagger shakes his head at Otter to indicate that he cannot cast those spells today.
No.
Well, if they're not going to want to come out, we don't know anything about this person really to leave a note either. Van, did you tell us about the blood?
You would have relayed that information, yeah?
You would have, sorry.
Yes.
Okay. Is it fresh?
Within the last couple of weeks. Judging by the other footprints, it's from...
That's an interesting one. It's a different footprint to the boat.
Oh,
footprint.
it's different, okay.
The blood, there was no blood in the boat. There was no blood in those footprints. Only when you get here do you see blood.
From my... Sorry, go on.
I was going to say, can I go search the boat to see if there's any identifying features in that? Because I don't think we've done that yet.
Yeah.
I imagine it's just a boat, but it's worth a look. What do I need to roll?
Roll investigation.
That is a nat 1 minus 1. That's a 0.
You don't find anything. The boat's empty. Well,
My God has forsaken me.
From my level of friendship with Andriel, would I be able to determine not whether it's her boot print, but the size-wise of the footprint?
Have you been
Whether
spending
it
time looking at her
be-
feet?
You are pretty sure the boot prints from the boat in are Andriel's. The boat is the boat you put her in.
Yeah.
The footprints leading up to where Von is look like there. There's a second set of prints that appear, at least you see on the stair, that are bloody. The blood is on the stone.
But
Is there
Andriel's
any-
disappear, or at that point, do Andriel's disappear at the point where the second pair of boots turns up?
Don't necessarily
or-
disappear, but you can see boots in mud. You can't necessarily pick up boots on stone.
Yeah.
Just because the blood is here, it's leaving a decent print behind.
Is
I
there
have an
just the
idea.
one bloody footprint? Or
No,
is
it goes
there
up the stairway.
a few of them going
Goes
up
up the stairway, yeah.
I have an idea, and it pains me that we haven't suggested this thus far. Some of us have a spell called Sending, where we can send a message.
What?
So if you think it's Andriel's boot print, I can send a message.
Fabian was also told. What about Andrea?
That she's a lying bitch, and that she had come here, but she'd moved on from this area.
Hold on, is that 25 words?
No, that's not the message. She's moved on from here. So we're not here looking for Andriel, we're looking for Ileana. But it's
Right.
whether Ileana is still here, or if she was here at all, because Andriel left.
Well, I can send a message, and if she's able to respond, she can do immediately. But I'm getting awfully low on spell slots for some reason.
Wonder why.
Sorry, on the amount of spells I feel I can muster in a day.
Von.
Can I?
Yep. With your, let me just say it, with your passive is you're tracking those steps up. You see at the top.
Yep.
You see as the steps get to the top, as they get
Yep.
to just through that kind of like gate area. Oh, I can use my mouse, can't I? Rather than moving my whole body over there. As they get to like this area,
Yeah.
they kind of shuffle together. Both boots are down. Only looks like there's like it looks like they stood still for a second. Only one boot is printed. They're not both boots are bloody. Like whatever's bleeding is bleeding profusely from one area.
Yeah.
One boot is there, but you can see there's a pool of blood. Like the footstep is bigger. Like they are stopped here for a second. And then you kind of lose sight of them. But they look like they get to around this top area here, and then they were stood still for enough time for more blood to pool. And you can just kind of, as you're following up, you're kind of seeing that as you go over.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Either that or they've got one leg.
They're hopping.
I was gonna say, can I like step from bloody footprint to bloody footprint to make my way up?
Yeah.
Can I follow him to where he's going? Not on the stairs, but right behind him.
Yeah.
And
Can I-
see
can
if
I-
there's any change to my face shard.
Okay.
Can I fly around to the raised area to where they are?
Yeah, so you just want to stay.
So I don't go over the glyph again. I want to sort of skate around the outside.
So you want to go stay on the north or stay on the south?
Go around to where Von and Fabian are.
Yeah, so you follow the footsteps up. Fabian, you are concentrating your face shard and seeing if there's any movement as you step up. Von, as you step into where the two bloody footsteps were, can you give me a wisdom saving throw, please?
That is a 17.
17. That is a pass. You resist a hold person spell.
Is that on
you
the
feel it triggers.
where the pool of blood is?
Yeah. Where the two footsteps, as you
It's
step
like
into
a-
those two footsteps, you go to freeze.
Zaga, head up those steps now.
Okay.
Are you okay?
I'm gonna
Ron?
stay standing in that spot.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to. I wonder if they would set stuff off. I guess there's no harm in trying, is there? I was going to use conjure animals to conjure 8 of the quarter CR beasts to kind of get them to scout ahead in different directions to try and either possibly set things off or work out if there's safe places to step.
That's smart.
You conjure. Where did I put that? Back in the table. Which one? Sorry, CR.
The CR, I think it's a CR quarter, isn't it? The 8 beast one.
Quarter in the forest. 8. Is it quarter for 8?
Yeah.
No, that can't be right. On a standard cast.
1, 2, 2 ones, 4 halves, or 8 quarters.
8 quarters. That's mental. Okay. Wicked. You cast. I'm not gonna put them on there because I don't understand how this works. 8 giant frogs. Seems ridiculous. That's why this spell gets changed because it's fucking mental. How can you get 8 giant frogs?
Wait, how close am I to them?
How many CR zeros can you get then?
It's a quarter or lower. That's what it has.
So no
Let's
one's
say it
ever
always
do that.
says or lower. But
Yeah, that's what.
yeah, I mean, I guess it could be a lower one.
Yeah.
Are there giant 4?
It feels like if you're gonna get 8 of
giant?
anything, it should be like a standard fucking frog. They're like big frogs. Giant frogs are big. Where are you gonna cast 8 frogs? Okay, this is gonna make things go mental. Where will you roughly be putting 8 giant frogs? Because they're big. We had this problem with the boat last time. If you're conjuring, you've resisted that hold.
What is the actual size of giant frogs? Because I know they've got giant in the name. I don't think they're actually.
I think they're just medium.
They're medium beasts. Yeah.
Yeah, they're still like decent size. To get 8 of them,
Yeah.
there's like fucking elks on that list. You can get 8 wolves. What the fuck? Glad that spells dead.
Yeah, but giant frogs are better.
Yeah, I think giant frogs are funny. It's swampy. So yeah, you get 8 frogs. You got to think about where you're going to put 8 frogs.
Put one near me. Put one near me. I want to scratch it.
I will put one near Arthur to scratch it, but the rest of them will be around the
On the platform.
the main structure. Yeah.
Sweet. As the frogs, so you resist the spell as the frogs peer round. Holy guacamole. Oh, okay. Have you got the giant frog stat block there?
Yes.
Because you're gonna be rolling some dice, modostuco. Let me use a. What do I have enough of? Let me use a frightened condition. 8 freaking frogs.
Are they emo frogs?
No, they can't be emo frogs.
But they're pumpkins. They've got mohawks.
Alright, that's 8 5-foot circles. To have them split around is actually wild. They just all these animals just appear in these frog forms. I'm gonna need.
Wait, there's not one next to me.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Sorry, you're literally doing
good.
expedition, and I'm talking about scratching frog.
It's fine because that's probably the only one that might survive. As go in off, you see from Jesus Christ. Let me just pull some of this up. I need 2 of them to roll dex saving throws.
Right. The 2. Oh fuck! I've rolled a 3 on both dice, which
Okay,
they
that's
get
good.
a +1 dex, so 4.
So they fail. That 2 of them start sliding down into the spike pit, and will take 24 points of piercing damage.
Okay, they're both dead. We see which 2 were they?
The 2 that were close to where Arthur was, as it kicks off, they just get caught in it because there's just not enough space for them on there. The rest of them, you see as they land and move with this. That these pillars that were there start to glow. These broken stumps of pillars start to glow as two. How many pairs have I got there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I've got 7 pillars. Jesus Christ. Actually, we'll say the trap goes off. You see these things start to glow. I think we might have to roll initiative, and we might just have to see where we get to. So, yeah. These little.
You're saying a level 6 spell, a level 6 shatter was not the right play earlier. Bugger.
Yeah, maybe not. Well, these things are all just gonna. I need to. Where's that? Why is it disappeared? There's a series of events that happens when 8 frogs hit the board that even I can't prepare for. Let me just check what this spell damage does at what level. Cast 1 dart for each long. Okay, cool. I might make it easy. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Each of these plinths light up. Oh no, I can't make them all that one. As there will be. And who would recognise this? I'm not sure any of you seen it before. Has any of you seen the magic missile spell before?
Yeah, Faywind's done magic missile.
Actually, if they win a magic missile, you see flying out from each of these like little mortar tanks, these magic missile spells from each of the white stumps that are on there towards. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and there's only 5 frogs. So I'm just going to roll one lot of dice as you see them all just fire off. Oh, I rolled. Wow, I rolled 4 1s on d4s. That is pretty disgusting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So they all take Oh no, they all take 7 points. 2 of them. There's 5, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2 of them take 14. What's their life? HP?
18.
18. So 2 of them are on death's door. The rest of them are there as these things power up fire. All these missiles come up and light up the area as you hear cast out, speaking out of seemingly nowhere, a voice that just says, "You have one chance. Leave now or fight." As you see, as it kind of comes from that area, that big plinth, but you can't see what is casting the spell. That goes out. If you all can roll initiative, and I'll let you make your decisions.
18.
Ooh.
Oh my god. And that one for a 3.
Nice. I know your frog is going after you.
Arthur.
Otter?
29.
Oh, fucking hell.
22.
It's not 29 now, is it? Nice. So yeah, you hear out a bit like Arthur and his thaumaturgy, this voice that just rings out that tells you you've got this chance. You've just seen all out of nowhere these frogs, and as quick as those frogs appear, the trap goes off and these glyphs light up, and then these magic missiles fire out. They're not firing continuously, and then you hear this voice ring out. Zaga, you are up first. All those circles are frogs. You don't know what you're... Essentially, at the moment, you don't know what you're fighting.
Yeah. This is one of those ones where you don't really want to go first, isn't it?
It's when it's really good when you have the alert feat. Doesn't alert feat give you the ability to switch initiative, though, if you wanted to? Is that new rules or is that old rules?
I haven't read it that closely.
I think it's the new rule.
I haven't read it that closely, / at all.
I just thought it gives me the boost to initiative. That's what I really care about. Yeah, no, the old one doesn't say you can swap.
Oh, okay. It's the new one.
Zaga's really far away and wasn't paying much attention in the first place.
Good. Glad you're here. Thanks for turning up.
I was paying attention. Zaga wasn't. He's still scared of mossy buildings that look like traps.
Mm-hmm.
So he's just gonna, ignore the mossy trap building.
Mm-hmm. You can hold if you want to hold something, but again, if you use a spell, it'll be. I'll tell you what.
He will hold a crossbow attack in case an enemy that looks like it's threatening anyone that's not a frog appears.
Yeah. Sweet. Let me just write that down. Let me get this up. And let me get this up. Give me a second. Nice, Otter. You are up. You can still use skill checks for free if there's something you would like to spot. But other than that, yeah, you just heard this voice ring out. Very, very thaumaturgy-like. That is ringing out from somewhere. But clearly, whatever... You've set off a few traps now. You've just cast some frogs. Whatever was being held has been fired as these frogs all took a shit ton of damage. Right off the bat.
I was just going to shout out, we're not here to fight. We just want to talk. Look up Ileana and got news about L'Oreal.
Cool. Give me a persuasion or deception, whichever is whatever you are going for, and just give me the number.
17.
17. Ooh. There is a funny thing. Arta, can you just describe to me what you're wearing? Not Otter, sorry.
Are you flirting with
No,
me
no,
now?
no. Otter. Yeah. Yeah, tell me what you're wearing, boy.
What are you wearing?
What are you wearing?
My pants.
No.
No, I've got
what
my
magical
elemental
items have you got
Oh,
on
my-
you?
my- The conch, the earrings.
Yeah. You.
The bolt.
You. Ooh. You hear back after you say, "Yeah, we're not here to help. We're here to talk." You hear back. All of you hear back. I know why you're here, and you won't get it.
Can I, as this said, can I look towards Zaga and just see whether he's got a look of excitement on his face?
Zaga is instantly more attentive at the prospect of loot.
Mm-hmm. But Otter, that was a shout. Is a free action.
I'll just shout back. Got what?
It's not really how that works.
We're not here for anything in particular. We're just looking for a person to talk to. Ileana.
You didn't get one shout for free. Don't push your luck.
Oh, right, okay. In that case, I will hold Eldritch Blast for any aggressive action towards myself or the group.
Mm-hmm. Nice. Arta and Zaga, you see on the near side corners for where you are, the ground starting to just move on the near side of these two buildings as the kind of earth is kind of is being rattled and moved away, and like there's a digging coming up, and you see these clawed hands start to appear either side. We're gonna have to leave this.
What did he just say?
clawed creatures are burying from underground?
No. When he was leaving the chair.
Oh, that's the wrong one.
Don't know.
Oh.
Said you're gonna die.
Oh dear.
As rising out from the dirt, clawing their way up, are these large, whatever the hell they are, abomination. These large, long-limbed, skinny, look a little bit like frogs, but their mouths are like unhumanly wide, huge mouths, long arms with these razor-like claws as they dig themselves up and pull themselves out. You would both be close enough to notice they have collars around their necks. As that is Feywind's turn.
Can I just ask here? Before the combat started, how long had I been flying?
Ooh.
The last 10 minutes.
We'll say you got 5 rounds.
Okay.
Do we know what the other items are in character that Otar is looking for?
I don't think
we know
he's-
the earrings, we know the
I don't think he's ever shared. Every single time he's gone and done it on his own.
Okay.
I don't, unless you tell me otherwise. I'm pretty sure every time I've ever said, "Do you want
Oh,
to
yeah.
use anyone else's abilities to help you do this?" His answer has always been no.
I think the only ones I do know is, the earrings, I guess.
Yeah,
I know the ones I've got, but none of the other ones.
yeah.
Obviously.
Then I can't help you, soz. Feywind's gonna shout out to reiterate what Otter couldn't shout the second time. We're not after an item. I'm looking for my friend Andriel.
Insight check.
Will be.
Back off.
Roll a persuasion.
I am concentrating far by what I heard.
16.
16. What the fuck are you? 16. Oh my god. Should have put better characters. Oh.
Can I call her by the name Ileana as well?
If you want.
Ileana, if that's you.
Cool. Anything else?
No. I don't even want to hold a fighty thing because I wanted to not fight us.
Okay. On. Up next are these creatures. They are going to turn and. Fucking these fucking frogs, man. Leap up. They're going to leap up and over back towards the top. They are going to swing 3 attacks. Cool. What's the AC of the frogs?
It is. 11.
11. I need to roll. I'm going to roll all 6 attacks for these 2 things here. I need you to roll above 5. I did on all of them. They all do enough damage. Some of them, some had 4 life left. Some of them had a bit more.
3 of them have 11, and 2 of them have 4.
Okay, I'll roll these.
And obviously, the one by Arta has all of its health.
Oh yeah, the one by Arthur stays alive. Yeah, cool. I rolled decent on the dice. These 2 creatures run through and just slice through the injured frogs and place themselves up in front of the plinth. As they get close to you 3 that stood there, you can see, these collars that are around the necks of these creatures as they just launch themselves up over, slashing, just completely rip through the bellies of these, like shred these giant frogs in half as they look chaotic. They almost look like Cheshire Cat smile crazy, the way these things are moving and smiling towards you as they just rip through and are enjoying destroying these frogs. And they pause and hold in front of this plinth platform where it stands. Arta.
I want to do an animal handling check.
With the frog in front of you. The frog in front of you looks very scared. It's just seen all its frog friends.
That's what I want to do. I want to try and comfort it.
Mm-hmm.
You said we can do 3 checks.
Yeah.
That is a 9. I didn't do a good job.
Didn't do a very good job. This fey creature is shitting his pants. It actually gets a bit of frog poo on you.
Okay, as my action, I want to cast Thaumaturgy.
Yep.
And I want to shout, "No, not the frogs! What did they ever do to you? Why can't we just be friends?"
Mm-hmm.
And I hope that's legible enough at 3 times the volume.
Yep.
I'm not trying to persuade anything. It's just more like a rhetorical question. I'm mourning. I'm mourning the loss.
Yep.
The frogs. Of my buddies.
Von, you're up. Oh! You've got true sight.
Yes.
You see... Oh,
Can I see her?
You can see her, yeah. On top, I've got the mini out first, so I'll just put this... I'll put this orb. Crouched on top of the platform, right in the middle, crouched down with a large staff hanging out in one hand, almost like an Assassin's Creed style post, up on her toes, in a long, deep blue cloak, the staff up behind her as if it's ready in a cast mode. You can see a small goblin. Actually, as you look at her, she looks back at you in her invisibility and realizes that you have clocked her.
Okay. Right. Can I, with the things around their necks,
Mm-hmm.
can I do like, I think like, I do like an Arcana check to see if it's like some sort of, I guess, magical sort of control out of it or something like that?
Give me a perception or insight roll rather than Arcana.
That's a waste of a nat 20.
Could be a waste. It could not be a waste. As you look at this scenario, there is pause. These things definitely look like controls. They look like under control. Have you seen these creatures? I think you've seen these creatures before. These creatures look mental. They don't look like trained beasts. These look like abomination creatures. The closest thing you could say is a frog, but it definitely ain't a fucking frog. You've just seen frogs. These frogs got absolutely destroyed. These things look other plane like, and they don't seem like the creatures that would just sit on command. The fact that they are perched under a ledge where this creature believes itself to be hidden and itself is in a defensive hold position, you think that there is a moment of pause here, that you are not being attacked, but you possibly could have been. You would definitely assume she has control of these things.
Yeah, okay. I will reiterate that we are not here to fight, and say, give us information on like, if you can tell us anything you know about Undril, we will be on our way. We know she came to see you.
Nice. She will. Give me another persuasion check.
Because my charisma score is great. Oh, it's an 18. I obviously don't know how much Othar wants to get any item that he hears mention of.
I didn't know yet. He just knows she has.
Cool. She drops. Well, I'll say she'll use her legendary action to, instead of casting anything, will drop her invisibility, and you can see she touches a staff to her, and there is like a it almost looks like a shield type spell that goes up as you all roughly see, even from that distance, this small goblin wizard's perched on top of this platform, and she'll look down towards you and say, I will give you the benefit of the doubt. You have 5 minutes. And she drops down and just into the wall, just passes straight through the wall as these two creatures hold, and you hear, as she disappears in, the almost like a Tesla coil sound of these 5 plimps just power up. There is a hum in the air of magic as these two creatures are just like stood either side of this piece of wall that she's just passed herself through.
When she says we've got 5 minutes, does that mean to chat or?
You can assume what you think it sounds like. Okay. She dropped invisibility, looked at the three of you that are definitely closest, said you have the benefit of doubt and you have 5 minutes, and then jumped down and ran through a wall.
I think we'll fly up to the wall and walk through, or try and walk through.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Where she went through.
You're stood either side of these things here. As you put your hand out to the wall, your hand goes through. This is an illusionary wall.
I will walk through and I'll drop concentration and fly.
Mm-hmm. Rest of you?
Can we get to it without flying?
Yeah, you can walk around. You just walk around. You just be walking up and around, but you can see each of these white plinths, these half plinths, are buzzing with magic. You can see that they are primed, and these two creatures are just heavy breathing with these collars on. They barely. Fabian, give me a nature check.
That's a nat 20 for 25.
These creatures barely seem natural. They don't even, as creatures that you just saw brutally murder a bunch of frogs, they don't seem they're not even clocking you. You as you're walking up and walking past them, Otter just stood between them. They are just almost like gargoyles, breathing and staring out. Like the command that she has over them has killed their nature completely, that they don't seem to be able to move on their own regard. Like the fact you would expect a creature like a dog or something would follow you, right? You just walk past, they don't even change where their head is. They are just fully in this kind of like rest state. Very odd. But yeah, you can walk round and follow Otto into this place, through this wall.
I'm going to stay where I am.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just going to try and comfort the frog.
As I walk through the wall, I want to put my hands up, like to show no threat.
Yep. Fun?
I will also head through as well.
Nice.
I guess I have seen the illusion. Again, true sight stuff. Like,
nah, it's not that good. This is really good magic. Fucking cheater. No, you never went up. You didn't actually get. You've never been close enough in front of that door.
Okay. Yeah.
So you would have started over here and you looked at this area and said, "What do I see?" And I said, "Just the front." You see nothing, and then you've gone down the side.
And I went around the side,
and it's the front of the door. Fine. So you wouldn't have never been. You didn't walk up in front and look. Had you done so, you would have seen it. But yeah, you've come up the side and been held in a position that's a side on. This is a door around the side. So yeah, I don't think you ever were close enough to clock on.
No, yeah, I'll walk through.
Cool. Zaga and Arta, you see as these creatures are there, the rest of them walk up through these areas. You can see where they're walking through, which is just a wall. Are you staying here, keeping guard, or going in?
Shout if you need help. I've still got thaumaturgy on, I assume. No, it's an action. I'll use
It's
an
an
action.
action.
Shout if you need help. Try not to shout in the frogs. Do frogs have ears?
These are fey frogs. They probably have ears.
As the expert of frogs in the party, I should know this. Can I roll an animal handling check to double check whether I know this?
You can stay and do whatever you want. Well, not whatever you want.
That
with
is an
frog.
11 on whether frogs have ears.
Just cancel the concentration of frogs. Yeah, but you can stay out. You can stay out and keep guard. These you don't know what's going to happen. You know that there's these two creatures that are seemingly not attacking you at the moment, and there are 5 columns that just fired a fuck ton of magic missiles out. You can go in with the rest of the party, or you can choose to stay outside. It's up to you, but you need to decide what you're doing.
I'll stay outside for now.
Are you staying outside obvious, or are you staying outside and hiding?
Obvious.
Okay.
I don't know. If they're following in, then they must think everything's fine, so I'm just going to hold fire.
Zaga?
So I would gather from my distance, I wouldn't have heard the sound of you've got 5 minutes.
Yeah. Yeah, you would have. Again, it was the voice was being pushed out with a thaumaturgy spell to give it misdirection. So it is like a tannoy that would have gone out. So you would have heard everything she said.
Okay. Well, I'm still going to stay there because
I'm just giving you the choice whether you guys want to go in or you don't want to go in. That's all I'm listening to me. I'm happy either way. It's never bad. Never bad that you have someone on guard, but just so you are making that choice. I ain't making no choice for you. Zaga? I'm gonna drown you. Are you going in or staying outside? Huh?
I'm trying to decide what I'm doing.
Oh, okay, good. Sleep, 100%.
I don't want to fight because it looks like nobody else wants to fight.
So if you want to go in with whatever is inside and find out whether your skills would be useful inside with a bunch of people that don't have a charisma stat between them.
They have all tried very hard to persuade.
Oh, do you? Yeah, but...
Yeah, I'm a warlock.
True. But you also say really weird things sometimes.
I will wander in with my hands up, saying, "We come in peace. There's no need for any violence."
Sweet.
And being Zaga, he's trying to deceive rather than persuade.
It's fine.
Because he's quite ready for violence.
Yeah. You all pass in. Arta, you are outside. I would assume you're going to stay off the platform and away from those creatures as much as possible. But yeah, you are outside.
And
with
the buzzing.
Yes. Yeah, the buzzing. It is just like this static that is just there and humming as, you watch each of your party members disappear through. Zaga, the last one that walks through this this illusionary wall. As you enter into a very dark 20 foot by 20 foot, maybe slightly further back, 25 foot square, as you all step into this very plain looking stone room. Quite dark in here. I mean, your dark vision would light up, but just the empty inside of a plinth. All of you dispelled magic. As soon as you walk in, Von, you feel your concentration drop. As you step in through the barrier of this thing, of this room, you feel your inability to conjure magic. You have stepped into some kind of anti-magic field. You feel your concentration drop. Otter, as you were getting rid of fly anyway, as you step in, you feel it just get kicked from you anyway. Otter, unfortunately, the frog disappears.
You hear with a thaumaturgy cry.
Yeah.
No, what have you done?
But yeah, and sat on the far side, stood say this is like a 20 foot by 20 foot, just a little bit further out. You can see, obviously standing just a little bit further away from you, is the small goblin wizard. As it's 2 minutes to 11, so it's a good place to stop, and we can pick up what Eliana has to say for herself next week. GG's. Didn't get into a fight. Nearly got into a fight. Didn't get into a fight.
Oh, you didn't want me to do my deception roll?
You don't need to do deception roll for walking in. You haven't done anything yet.
Oh, I was saying about not wanting to fight and being peaceful with my hands up.
Yeah, but unless you do something.
Oh, okay.
All the charges for letting you guys walk in have already been done. Whether you're going to lie about being peaceful or not is going to be in your actions when you get inside. She's already said you have 5 minutes, and offered you that chance whilst the traps are open and those beasts are there to be unleashed. And as you step in, all 4 of you feel your loss of magical ability, or your loss to conjure magic within this small space. As you are greeted with the little goblin wizard, potentially known as Ileana. Why could she be here? I don't even know where she came from. We'll pick up that next time. Find out what's going on in the witch world. GG's. Rest in peace, the frogs. Ta-ta, farewell. Oh, I pressed adverts. I pressed the wrong button again. Oh, I do this every time.